Chapter 1172. Bam, bam, bam. The disciples of the Golden Talisman sect were sent flying by the impact of the flaming dragon. Each of them was severely injured. After sending the disciples of the Golden Talisman sect flying, Mo Qingyun did not stop there. He swung his halberd at the disciples of the Golden Talisman sect again. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the disciples of the seven immortal sects were shocked. They immediately reprimanded Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun, stop. Are you going to kill them all? Aren't you afraid of the revenge of the Golden Talisman sect? At this moment, the disciples of the seven immortal sects realized the seriousness of the matter. Mo Qingyun was too crazy. He did not show any mercy when he attacked. He looked as though he wanted to annihilate the Golden Talisman sect. If they had known earlier that Mo Qingyun was so ruthless, they would not have dared to provoke Mo Qingyun no matter how much courage they had. They had no choice. Mo Qingyun was not afraid of death, but they were afraid of death. It was not worth it to lose their lives just to show off in front of the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect. Yes, so what? Mo Qingyun did not care about the threats of the disciples of the seven immortal sects. His expression became even colder. At the same time, an even more violent flaming dragon halberd radiance burst out from the immortal burning halberd. It was accompanied by a golden radiance as it blasted towards the disciples of the Golden Talisman sect. Metal and fire, two complete nomological powers. Sensing the power of the flaming dragon halberd radiance, the disciples of the Golden Talisman sect and the disciples of the other seven immortal sects were shocked. They realized that as time passed, Mo Qingyun's strength became more and more terrifying. It was unfathomable. How was this possible? Did Mo Qingyun really stand out from the 10,000 Talisman Immortal gathering 10 years ago? It must be an illusion. Even if his cultivation speed is fast, how can his comprehension of the nomological powers be as fast? This is troublesome. What if Mo Qingyun kills the people from the Golden Talisman sect and then attacks us? I don't think so. Could it be that he wants the Sky Devil Talisman sect to go to war with the 8 great immortal sects? Thinking that Mo Qingyun might attack them, the disciples of the 7 great immortal sects panicked. A strong sense of uneasiness rose in their hearts. Bang, bang, bang. Just as the disciples of the 7 immortal sects were feeling uneasy, the fire dragon halberd light struck the disciples of the Golden Talisman sect and sent them flying. Then, the disciples of the Golden Talisman sect fell heavily to the ground. Blood spurted out from their mouths, and their auras were weak. They looked like they were on the verge of death. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun no longer paid attention to the disciples of the Golden Talisman sect. He turned to look at the disciples of the 7 immortal sects and said indifferently, "Who else wants to come out and fight?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, everyone from the 7 immortal sects was shocked. Their eyes were filled with intense panic. What kind of joke was this? Didn't they see how the dozens of disciples of the Golden Talisman sect were defeated by Mo Qingyun in a domineering manner? How could they be a match for Mo Qingyun? Now that they stood out and fought with Mo Qingyun, wasn't it the same as asking for a beating? You don't dare. Looking at the reaction of the people from the 7 immortal sects, Mo Qingyun sneered and asked, "Weren't you all very arrogant before? You said that I was hiding and didn't dare to meet you. Now that I've come out, why do you all have such an expression? Could it be that you were all bragging before? Or is it that you people from the 7 immortal sects are only good at talking?" Under Mo Qingyun's mocking words, the people from the 7 immortal sects were speechless. They turned their heads away in shame, not daring to meet Mo Qingyun's gaze. They had lost a lot of face this time. Seeing the reaction of the crowd, the mockery in Mo Qingyun's eyes deepened. He glanced at the people from the 7 immortal sects and said, "Don't say that I'm looking down on you. I'll give you a chance to regain your face. I'll challenge all of you alone. Do you dare?" "What? Senior brother Mo wants to challenge everyone from the 7 immortal sects alone? Senior brother Mo, don't be rash. If all the people from the 7 immortal sects join forces, it's enough to fight against a heaven realm expert. Yes, junior brother Mo doesn't have to take this risk. Anyway, we've already won back our face. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, the people from the Sky Demon Talisman sect were worried and hurriedly tried to persuade Mo Qingyun. At this moment, when the disciples from the Sky Demon Talisman sect were persuading Mo Qingyun, the disciple from the Seven Immortals sect sneered and said with cold eyes, "Mo Qingyun, you're too arrogant. Since that's the case, we'll let you know the price of arrogance. Let's attack together and make him regret his arrogance." The disciples from the Seven Immortal sects sneered. They no longer hesitated and attacked Mo Qingyun. Suddenly, hundreds of talismans that were comparable to the full force attack of a Nine Seals expert appeared above Mo Qingyun and attacked Mo Qingyun like a storm. Facing the bombardment of hundreds of talismans, Mo Qingyun didn't even try to dodge. He just let them hit the scorching sun shield. Just as Mo Qingyun had expected, with the current defensive capabilities of the Raging Flame Shield, it was indeed not something these people could break. At this moment, when Mo Qingyun was testing the defensive power of the Scorching Sun Shield, he was also engulfed by the hundreds of talismans and disappeared from everyone's sight. Senior Brother Mo. Junior Brother Mo. Seeing Mo Qingyun being engulfed by hundreds of talismans, the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect were anxious and worried for Mo Qingyun. Although they knew from the grapevine that Mo Qingyun's strength was above Yao Honghu's, even if Yao Honghu attacked, he would only be killed in an instant. Although Mo Qingyun was stronger than Yao Honghu, he wasn't strong enough to kill Yao Honghu in an instant. Therefore, Mo Qingyun was still in a dangerous situation. He overestimated himself and thought that he could fight the geniuses of the Seven Immortal sects alone. What's the use of being talented? He'll still die in our hands. That's right. No matter how talented he is, if he doesn't have enough intelligence, it's still a waste of talent. This is called the heavens are fair. Although the heavens gave Mo Qingyun extraordinary talent, they also gave him an idiotic intelligence. Brilliant. Speaking of which, this is the first time I've killed a genius like Mo Qingyun. It feels so good. Seeing Mo Qingyun being engulfed by their attacks, the disciples of the Seven Immortal sects smiled proudly. They thought that Mo Qingyun would definitely lose. However, just as they were feeling proud, a mocking voice came from the front. The battle has just begun. Don't you think it's too early to make a conclusion? Chapter 1173. Break for me. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he waved the immortal burning battle halberd and destroyed all the talismans that were attacking him. Bang! Under Mo Qingyun's attack, the talismans around him were instantly blown away, producing loud noises. After these noises were heard, Mo Qingyun's figure appeared in everyone's line of sight. His expression was still as indifferent as ever. Seeing Mo Qingyun's appearance, not only were the disciples of the seven major immortal sects dumbfounded, but even the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect were dumbfounded. Such a terrifying attack just now, but it did not even touch Mo Qingyun's clothes. Mo Qingyun's defense was too monstrous. After a brief moment of shock, the disciples of the seven major immortal sects began to tremble. Their expressions revealed a look of despair. Their strongest attack could not even touch Mo Qingyun's clothes. How could they fight against Mo Qingyun? Mo Qingyun did not pay attention to the panicked expressions of the disciples of the seven major immortal sects. He directly attacked them with the immortal burning battle halberd. Just as Mo Qingyun was about to kill the disciples of the seven major immortal sects, 8 terrifying auras rapidly approached. As the 8 auras approached, the disciples of the seven major immortal sects were instantly overjoyed. They hurriedly looked in the direction of the 8 auras and cried for help. "Supreme Elder, save us." Mo Qingyun, stop. Do you want to start a war between the Sky Demon Talisman sect and the 8 major immortal sects? As the 8 auras approached, a gloomy voice entered Mo Qingyun's ears. However, after hearing his words, Mo Qingyun did not seem to care at all. He said, "So what if I start a war? If the 8 major immortal sects want to fight, I, Mo Qingyun, will accompany you to the end." Kill. Mo Qingyun responded to the supreme elder of the 8 major immortal sects. He no longer showed any mercy as his figure flashed and disappeared from the spot. Chi chi chi, a golden halberd light streaked across the sky. Following that, a hideous wound appeared on the bodies of the disciples of the 7 immortal sections. Not long after, fresh blood gushed out from the wounds, dyeing their clothes bright red. It was a heart-wrenching sight. Chop! However, Mo Qingyun did not stop there. Instead, he swung his halberd at the disciples of the 7 sections. Suddenly, a 1,000-meter-long halberd light pierced through the sky and slashed toward the disciples of the 7 immortal sections. Following the rapid descent of the halberd light, its size also became larger and larger. Finally, it became the size of a huge mountain. The mountain-sized halberd light was extremely fast, and the people from the 7 great immortal sects didn't have time to dodge, and they were all struck by it. Bang, bang, bang. Following which, the disciples of the 7 immortal sects were sent flying by the overbearing halberd light, falling to the ground. As the disciples of the 7 great immortal sects landed on the ground, they spat out mouthfuls of blood. The speed at which the blood gushed out from their wounds also became faster. Not long after, the ground of the arena was dyed red by the blood of the disciples of the 7 great immortal sections. Evil creature, you're courting death. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the supreme elders of the 8 great immortal sects immediately gnashed their teeth in anger. These disciples were the geniuses of their sects, and they were the future pillars of their sections. Now, all of them had their cultivation foundations damaged. As a result, even if they recovered from their injuries later on, their future cultivation achievements would be greatly affected. In other words, Mo Qingyun's powerful attack had already damaged the foundations of the 8 great immortal sections. Now that the foundations of their sect have been destroyed, how could the supreme elders of the 8 great immortal sects let Mo Qingyun off so easily? Everyone, let's attack together and kill this evil creature, lest he becomes a scourge for our sects in the future. All right, since this kid is courting death, we'll fulfill his wish. Now, Jiezong of the Sky Demon Talisman sect will take this kid's corpse as a congratulatory gift to the Sky Demon Talisman sect. The supreme elders of the 8 great immortal sects discussed for a while, and their bodies emitted a murderous aura, wanting to kill Mo Qingyun. Seeing the supreme elders of the 8 great immortal sects attack, the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect were shocked, and a strong sense of worry rose in their hearts for Mo Qingyun. The supreme elders of the 8 great immortal sects had reached the limit of 9 seals, and were only 1 step away from the celestial realm. Therefore, each of their true strength was infinitely close to the celestial realm. Under the joint attack of the 8 of them, even an expert of the celestial realm could die under their attacks if he was not careful. This won't do. Senior brother Mo might be in great danger facing the joint attack of 8 experts with 9 seals. We have to inform the sect leader immediately. That's right. The situation is out of control now. If the sect leader doesn't show up, it won't be resolved. No matter what, the 8 great immortal sects have suffered a great loss this time. I didn't expect Senior Brother Mo to be so powerful. Humph. Senior Brother Mo has only been cultivating for a short time. Once he accumulates more foundation, he will definitely be able to defeat the 8 great immortal sections. Speaking of Mo Qingyun's domineering strength, the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect were excited, and a feeling of blood boiling rose in their hearts. At the same time, some of the disciples also left the arena to inform Yao Honghu and the others about what had happened in the arena. When these disciples were leaving, the elders of the 8 immortal sects made their moves. One by one, they unleashed all of their techniques. Demon King Trampling Sky Talisman, Buddha Demon Exterminating Talisman, Roaring Earth Talisman. In an instant, 8 powerful talismans of different attributes appeared in the sky above Mo Qingyun, blooming with bright light. Behind these resplendent lights, 8 figures that were nearly 300 meters tall appeared in the sky above Mo Qingyun, exuding a terrifying aura. Facing the pressure of these 8 huge figures, Emo Qingyun's expression became more solemn, and he withdrew some of his contempt. Judging from the aura of these 8 talismans, they were enough to pose a threat to Emo Qingyun. Of course, they could only pose a slight threat, and could not really kill Emo Qingyun here. Fortune Mainland, smash for me. After a short moment of contemplation, Emo Qingyun no longer thought about it, and directly brought out the Fortune Mainland. In an instant, an earth-shattering momentum rushed out from the Fortune Mainland. Subsequently, the Fortune Mainland emitted a 9-colored stream of light that blasted towards the 8 huge figures in the sky. Seeing the Fortune Mainland in the sky above Emo Qingyun, everyone was shocked. They didn't expect Emo Qingyun to have such a method. At this moment, while everyone was still in shock, the Fortune Mainland collided with the 8 huge figures in the sky. Chapter 1174. At Yao Honghu's residence. At this moment, the disciples who had left the battle arena rushed into the small courtyard. "Why are all of you in such a hurry? What happened?" Yao Honghu's expression turned serious when he saw the arrival of these disciples. He questioned them with slight displeasure. Sect leader, something bad has happened." Hearing Yao Honghu's question, these disciples immediately revealed a nervous expression and said anxiously to Yao Honghu, Fight. Senior apprentice brother Mo is fighting with the people from the 8 great immortal sections. Qingyun, this brat, is really irritable. He's already fighting with the people from the 8 immortal sections." Hearing these disciples report, Yao Honghu smiled nonchalantly as if he was praising Emo Qingyun's performance. In his opinion, the disciples from the 8 immortal sects were too arrogant. It was good that Emo Qingyun taught them a lesson. Of course, Yao Honghu thought this way mainly because he did not know the severity of the situation. Yao Honghu smiled faintly and praised Emo Qingyun indirectly. He then pointed to a disciple beside him and said, "Just now, before you came, Li Bin had already reported Qingyun's plan to me." The Li Bin that Yao Honghu mentioned was the young man who delivered the message to Emo Qingyun outside Emo Qingyun's cave abode. Hearing Yao Honghu's words, these disciples' expressions became even more anxious. They knew that Yao Honghu had misunderstood them. Then, a disciple at the peak of the 8 seals cultivation revealed a worried expression and explained to Yao Honghu anxiously, "Sect leader, you misunderstood us. We meant to tell you that after junior brother Mo injured the disciples of the 8 immortal sects, he is now fighting with the grand elders of the 8 immortal sects. Not only that, the grand elders of the 8 immortal sect have joined forces to fight against senior brother Mo alone," another disciple added. Hearing these 2 disciples' words, Yao Honghu and the rest's expressions changed drastically. Their faces were filled with anxiety. Although Emo Qingyun's cultivation was very strong, they didn't believe that Emo Qingyun could fight the 8 grand supreme elders of the 8 major immortal sects alone and not be defeated. Of course, it wouldn't matter if Emo Qingyun was only defeated. However, Yao Honghu and the others were worried that the supreme elders of the 8 immortal sects would secretly play tricks and take the opportunity to kill Emo Qingyun. Thinking of this, Yao Honghu and the others could no longer remain calm and stood up from their chairs. What? Qingyun was fighting with the grand elders of the 8 great immortal sects? Why didn't you tell me earlier? These guys from the 8 great immortal sects are getting more and more out of hand. They're actually bullying the weak. Let's go there immediately. We can't let them hurt Qingyun. After Yao Honghu and the others got up, they did not waste any more time and immediately rushed towards the Colosseum. Inside the arena, bang, bang, bang. Under the brutal collision of the Fortune Mainland, the 8 giant silhouettes in midair were smashed to pieces in an instant. It couldn't be helped. The collision of the heavenly spirit continent was too strong. Even immortal realm experts couldn't withstand the collision of the heavenly spirit continent. Therefore, although the Fortune continent's power was not as strong as the heavenly spirit continent, Its collision was not something that the 8 figures could withstand. After destroying the 8 figures, Mo Qingyun waved the immortal incinerating war halberd and pointed at the supreme elders of the 8 immortal sects. "What other moves do you have? Come at me." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he disappeared on the spot without waiting for the supreme elders of the 8 immortal sects to make a move. Although Mo Qingyun believed that his strength was enough to fight against a Heaven Realm expert, he was not willing to take the risk and fight against 8 Peak 9 Seals experts. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, he could easily kill the supreme elders of the 8 immortal sects. Why should he put his life in danger? Mo Qingyun disappeared. Even his aura disappeared. Everyone, be careful. This brat's methods are a little strange. We can't be careless. No matter what the result is, we can't let this brat live. Otherwise, he will become a huge threat to us in the future. That's right. Even if we have to fight against the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect today, we must kill this brat. Seeing that Mo Qingyun's figure had disappeared, the killing intent of the supreme elders of the 8 immortal sects increased by several folds. At this moment, the supreme elders of the 8 immortal sects had a tense expression on their faces. They were on guard against Mo Qingyun's sneak attack. However, at this moment, a golden ray of light suddenly appeared and attacked the supreme elder of the Wood Talisman sect. Pucci! Soon, the golden ray of light pierced through the supreme elder of the Wood Talisman sect's chest. Then, a terrifying power of the law of metal erupted from the immortal incinerating war halberd and rushed into the supreme elder of the Wood Talisman sect. Chi. Under the impact of the law of metal, the supreme elder of the Wood Talisman sect's body was instantly pierced with holes. Then, blood flowed out from these holes and dyed the supreme elder of the Wood Talisman sect red. "Elder Mui, how are you?" Seeing the injuries of the supreme elder of the Wood Talisman sect, the other supreme elders of the 7 immortal sects asked nervously. "I won't die for now." Hearing the concerned words of the people around him, Elder Mui of the Wood Talisman sect waved his hand and explained his situation to them. As Elder Mui spoke, he also released his wood laws to perfection and began to restore his wounds. Then, the wounds on Elder Mui's body healed little by little. His injuries were temporarily relieved. Seeing Mui's performance, the other 7 supreme elders' complexions improved a little. However, there was still lingering fear between their brows. In their opinion, it was fortunate that Elder Mui was the one who was injured. If they were injured, the consequences would be troublesome. It's a pity that I didn't kill him in one fell swoop. Seeing Mui's wounds heal little by little, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold. He said regretfully, "I forgot that the symbol masters of the Wood Talisman sect are proficient in the law of wood. Although their attack power isn't the strongest, their recovery power is the most amazing. In that case, let's start with the people of the other sections." After knowing the situation of the supreme elder of the Wood Talisman sect, Mo Qingyun no longer paid attention to him. He looked for opportunities to kill the supreme elders of the other immortal sects. "You're the one." After waiting for a while, Mo Qingyun found a good opportunity. He raised his hand and slashed at the supreme elder. Pucci! Facing this sudden attack, the supreme elder of the Water Talisman sect was unable to dodge Mo Qingyun's halberd. His chest was directly pierced by the immortal burning halberd. Afterwards, a terrifying power of the laws of fire surged into his body in a domineering manner, causing irrecoverable injuries to his body. Chapter 1175. Elder Huomang. Seeing that the elder from the Fire Talisman sect was heavily injured, the elders from the other immortal sects immediately revealed nervous expressions. However, before they could come forward to save Elder Huomang, they saw a purple palm directly capture Elder Huomang. Following that, Elder Huomang's body was pulled into the void and disappeared before their eyes. Seeing that Elder Huomang had disappeared in the blink of an eye, the elders from the other 7 immortal sects were immediately shocked and panic appeared on their faces. In just a short moment, under Mo Qingyun's powerful attacks, 2 of them were heavily injured. If this continued, it would not be long before the remaining 6 of them would be the same. Thinking of this, the expressions of the elders of the 7 great immortal sects unconsciously became even more panicked. Whoosh! At that moment, just as the elders from the 7 immortal sects revealed panicked expressions, a black ray of power rapidly shot towards them. The ray of power was extremely fast and arrived in an instant. Before they could react, it had already pierced through the Demon Talisman Sect's Grand Elder's head. After the Demon Talisman Sect's Grand Elder's head was pierced through, his eyes became hollow and a gray mist flew out from his head. This gray mist was the soul of the Demon Talisman Sect's Grand Elder. Yin-Yang Motherchild Gourd, collect. The moment the Demon Talisman Sect's Grand Elder's soul came out, Mo Qingyun took out the Yin-Yang Motherchild Gourd and collected the Demon Talisman Sect's Grand Elder's soul. Facing the Yin-Yang Motherchild Gourd, the Demon Talisman Sect's Grand Elder soul did not have the slightest bit of resistance and was directly collected by the Yin-Yang Motherchild Gourd. The Demon Talisman Sect's Grand Elder was dead. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had killed another one of them in the blink of an eye, the faces of the remaining 6 immortal sects' Grand Elders instantly turned pale. Previously, they had always thought that Mo Qingyun only dared to heavily injure them and did not dare to kill them. Now, they discovered that they were wrong. Furthermore, they were extremely wrong. Not only did Mo Qingyun dare to kill them, he did it without the slightest hesitation. Thinking that they were about to follow in the footsteps of the former, the remaining supreme elders of the 6 great immortal sects could not help but tremble. Mo Qingyun, get the hell out here. What's the point of hiding in the dark and launching sneak attacks? Mo Qingyun, don't go too far. If you kill us, the 8 great sects won't let the Sky Devil Talisman sect off. Mo Qingyun, don't think that we can't do anything just because you don't show yourself. Right now, I'm going to kill the Sky Devil Talisman sect's disciples until you show up. That's right, let's go kill the Sky Devil Talisman sect's disciple. I want to see if he cares about the life and death of the Sky Devil Talisman sect's disciple. The Grand Elders of the 6 major immortal sects discussed for a while before charging towards the disciples of the Sky Devil Talisman sect. They wanted to force Mo Qingyun to show himself. The supreme elders of the 6 major immortal sects actually used such shameless means. How capable! Seeing the actions of the supreme elders of the 6 major immortal sects, Mo Qingyun mocked them and slowly appeared in their line of sight. Seeing Mo Qingyun reveal himself, the supreme elders of the 6 major immortal sects immediately sneered, as if some evil scheme had succeeded. You don't have to be too proud. Even if I don't hide myself, I can still kill you like slaughtering dogs. Mo Qingyun glanced at them with disdain and said disdainfully. He no longer held back his strength. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, 7 figures appeared behind him. They were 2 incarnations for soul puppets and the savage beast. After these 7 figures appeared, they emitted 7 auras that were comparable to the peak of the 9th seal and enveloped the supreme elders of the 6 major immortal sects. After seeing this, the supreme elders of the 6 major immortal sects immediately began to tremble violently. They really didn't expect Mo Qingyun to have such a backup plan. If they had known, they would have rather Mo Qingyun show himself immediately. Kill! Mo Qingyun ignored the fear of the supreme elders of the 6 major immortal sects and charged towards one of them. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, since he had summoned his incarnations, soul puppets, and savage beast, there was nothing more to say. Among the supreme elders of the 6 major immortal sects, only 5 of them could really fight because Elder Muyi was seriously injured. Now, Mo Qingyun's side had 8 experts who were equivalent to the peak of the 9th seal. The strength of both sides was obvious. Pucci. Soon, under Mo Qingyun's domineering attack, one of the supreme elders' chest was pierced by the immortal burning halberd. Following that, a berserk power of the law of fire surged into the elder's body, incinerating his body. In the process of his body being burned, the supreme elder decisively abandoned his physical body and chose to escape with his soul. However, as soon as his soul left his body, It was absorbed by Mo Qingyun using the Yin-Yang mother-child gourd. After Mo Qingyun killed one Supreme Elder, the pressure on the remaining 5 Supreme Elders multiplied, and their situation became more worrying. Just like that, as time passed, the remaining Supreme Elders of the 6 major immortal sects were killed by Mo Qingyun one by one. After killing the Supreme Elders of the 6 major immortal sects, Mo Qingyun stored his 2 incarnations for soul puppets and savage beast into the 5-directional pagoda. By the time Mo Qingyun was done, Yao Honghu and the others had anxious expressions on their faces as they hurriedly rushed over. When Yao Honghu and the others arrived at the arena and saw Mo Qingyun standing in midair, they were all shocked. Where were the Supreme Elders of the 8 major immortal sects? Didn't they say that Mo Qingyun was fighting with them? Greetings to Ancestor, Sect Leader, and Supreme Elder. While Yao Honghu and the others were still in a daze, the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect in the arena quickly arrived in front of them. Yao Honghu nodded indifferently when he saw the greetings of the disciples. He asked with a puzzled expression, "Didn't you say that Qingyun is fighting with the Supreme Elders of the 8 major immortal sects? Why don't I see the Supreme Elders of the 8 major immortal sects?" "Sect Leader, you're late. The battle has ended." Hearing Yao Honghu's question, a disciple revealed a bitter smile and answered Yao Honghu. "The battle has ended?" Yao Honghu and the others looked at each other, not understanding the meaning of this disciple's words. After a brief moment of confusion, Yao Honghu revealed a nervous expression again and asked, "Where did the Supreme Elders of the 8 major immortal sects go? Did they all leave the Sky Demon Talisman sect?" "No, they're all dead." Hearing Yao Honghu ask about the Supreme Elders of the 8 major immortal sects, the disciple revealed a bitter smile and answered Yao Honghu, "They're all dead." At this moment, Yao Honghu and the others were dumbfounded. They felt that their brains were not enough to process this. How much time had passed? 8 powerhouses at the limit of the Sovereign 9 Seals had been killed by Mo Qingyun just like that. Chapter 1176. While Yao Honghu and the rest were still in shock, Mo Qingyun appeared in front of them in a flash. "Senior brother Mo." Seeing Mo Qingyun's arrival, the disciples of the Sky Devil Talisman sect were all in awe and bowed respectfully to Mo Qingyun. Now, Mo Qingyun's position in their hearts was no less than Yao Honghu and the rest. In fact, it was even higher than Yao Honghu and the rest. Ancestor, Sect Leader, Elders. When Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Yao Honghu and the others, he cupped his hands and bowed. He said apologetically, "I couldn't hold myself back just now and accidentally killed the Grand Elders of the 8 great immortal sections." Was it an accident? Hearing Mo Qingyun's lame excuse, Yao Honghu and the rest smiled bitterly. They didn't know what to say to Mo Qingyun. If he could accidentally kill an expert at the limit of the 9th Seal Realm, then the expert at the limit of the 9th Seal Realm was too weak. Of course, although Yao Honghu and the rest were depressed, they didn't have the intention to blame Mo Qingyun. They had long wanted to take action against the arrogant actions of the 8 immortal sects, but they hadn't found the right opportunity. Now, Mo Qingyun's actions could be considered to have helped them vent their anger. "It's okay." Yao Honghu smiled and waved his hand in response to Mo Qingyun's apology. He comforted Mo Qingyun and said, "As for the matter of you killing the elders of the 8 immortal sects, I will deal with it with the Ancestor and the rest later. Now, you just have to focus on your cultivation." "That's right. As long as your cultivation breaks through to the Celestial Realm, you don't have to worry about the 8 immortal sects." After Yao Honghu's words, Yao Lin nodded in agreement and expressed his thoughts. In his opinion, Mo Qingyun was only at the middle of the 9th Seal Realm, but he could easily kill an expert at the limit of the 9th Seal Realm. By the time Mo Qingyun's cultivation broke through to the Celestial Realm, killing experts of the Celestial Realm would be no different from chopping vegetables. Hearing Yao Honghu and Yao Lin's comforting words, Mo Qingyun gratefully nodded his head and said, If the 8 great immortal sects join forces, their strength definitely cannot be underestimated. I feel that we should take precautions in advance. Qingyun, do you have any good ideas? Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Yao Honghu's expression turned grave as he hurriedly asked Mo Qingyun. In his opinion, since Mo Qingyun dared to kill people from the 8 major mortal sects, he must have thought of a way out. After Yao Honghu's words fell, Yao Lin and the others revealed curious and expectant expressions, waiting for Mo Qingyun's reply. They also wanted to know if Mo Qingyun had any good suggestions or solutions for this matter. Old ancestor, sect master, and elders, if the 8 major immortal sects join forces, their strength is not something we can face head-on. We must use strategies to win. Under the gaze of Yao Honghu and the others, Mo Qingyun roughly explained his thoughts and added in detail, the 8 major immortal sects are not far from the Sky Demon Talisman sect. In order to avoid being caught off guard, I feel that we should temporarily abandon the Sky Demon Talisman sect's mountain gate. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Yao Honghu and the others revealed puzzled expressions. They were even more curious about Mo Qingyun's plan. Mo Qingyun continued, if Sect Master trusts me, we can temporarily move the sect members to the Thatch Talisman sect. At that time, I will deploy our operations against the 8 major mortal sects. This, upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Yao Honghu and the others frowned and hesitated. Now that the Sky Demon Talisman sect had just reopened its mountain gate, it would be too shameful if they had to move the sect members immediately. However, Yao Honghu and the others knew very well that if they did not abandon the mountain gate in the face of the 8 major immortal sects' joint revenge, they would suffer heavy losses. Qingyun, we will do as you say. Will we move the sect members? After some hesitation, Yao Honghu made a decision in his heart. He was prepared to do as Mo Qingyun said. Seeing that Yao Honghu had accepted his suggestion, Mo Qingyun no longer kept them in suspense. He began to instruct everyone. Old ancestor Yao Lin, immediately leave with the sect members secretly and escort them to the Thatch Talisman sect. Sect Master and I will continue to stay in the Sky Demon Talisman sect and hold the sect's unsealing ceremony. We will use this to confuse the 8 major immortal sects and cover you and the disciples who are retreating. Yes, this is a good idea. After hearing Mo Qingyun's idea, Yao Honghu and the others nodded in agreement. They thought that Mo Qingyun's plan was good. After explaining his idea, Mo Qingyun's expression became more serious. He continued to explain the details to Yao Lin and the others. After about 15 minutes, Mo Qingyun finished explaining all the details to Yao Honghu and the others. Then, Yao Honghu and the others did not delay any longer and immediately went to make arrangements. Several hours later, Yao Lin left with all the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect without the other sects knowing. Yao Honghu, Mo Qingyun, and the other elders remained in the Sky Demon Talisman sect to hold the sect's unsealing ceremony. Everything was carried out in an orderly manner. The next day, when the sun rose, the Sky Demon Talisman sect's altar was filled with people. Some of these people were elders of the Sky Demon Talisman sect, while others were people sent by the other sects to participate in the sect's unsealing ceremony. Because there were no people from the 8 immortal sects causing trouble, the sect's unsealing ceremony was held very smoothly. Everything was completed step by step. After the sect's unsealing ceremony was completed, Yao Honghu set up a banquet and invited the people from the various sections. During the banquet, the people from the various sects showed signs of fawning, hoping to be protected by the Sky Demon Talisman sect. Regarding this, Yao Honghu perfunctorily brushed them off one by one, but did not make a clear attitude. In this way, the banquet lasted for several hours before it finally came to an end. After the banquet, the people from the various sects who came to congratulate them all said goodbye to Yao Honghu and left. However, during this period of time, the people from the various sects who came to congratulate them did not notice that the people from the 8 immortal sects were missing. Sect leader, you and the elders should leave. I will stay alone to welcome the people from the 8 immortal sects. Seeing that the people from the various sects had left, Mo Qingyun turned to look at Yao Honghu and explained to him, "You will stay alone?" Yao Honghu and the others were surprised when they heard Mo Qingyun's plan. Worry appeared on their faces. With the powerful strength of the 8 immortal sects, it seemed too dangerous for Mo Qingyun to stay alone. Mo Qingyun did not care about the worries of Yao Honghu and the others. He smiled indifferently and said, "Sect leader, you can rest assured. With my current strength, if I want to leave, the people from the 8 immortal sect will not be able to stop me. You will be a burden to me if you stay." "Well, be careful." After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Yao Honghu did not insist and immediately left with the remaining elders. Chapter 1177. After returning to the Sky Demon Talisman sect, Mo Qingyun sat down with his legs crossed and started to cultivate. Mo Qingyun thought that there were still a few days before the revenge of the 8 immortal sects arrived. He could make use of this time to refine the souls of the elders from the 8 immortal sects and improve his soul realm. Devouring Gate. In order to increase the efficiency of his refining, Mo Qingyun took out all their souls and sucked them into the Devouring Gate at once. Soon, screams and pleas came out of the Devouring Gate and into Mo Qingyun's ears. However, Mo Qingyun chose to turn a deaf ear to their pleas. Then, under the refining and purification of the Devouring Gate, the souls of the elders from the 8 immortal sects were quickly wiped out and turned into pure soul power and memories. Then, the pure soul power and memories were sent into Mo Qingyun's body by the Devouring Gate for Mo Qingyun to refine and merge with. With Mo Qingyun's current soul cultivation, it was very easy for him to refine the souls of the elders from the 8 immortal sects. As he continued to refine the souls of the elders from the 8 immortal sects, the strength of Mo Qingyun's soul power had increased significantly. At this moment, Mo Qingyun could clearly feel that the life force of the 9-color lotus seed from the golden lotus of fate in his sea of consciousness had become stronger. Other than that, the 9-colored lotus seed's life beat even more rhythmically, as if it was a baby breathing. I wonder what this 9-color lotus seed will become in the end. Sensing the changes of the 9-color lotus seed in his sea of consciousness, Mo Qingyun's expression became serious, and he was curious and expectant. Buzz. At this moment, as Mo Qingyun was sighing in his heart, the light gate martial spirit that had been quiet for a long time suddenly shook. This movement, sensing the movement of the light gate martial spirit, Mo Qingyun was shocked, and he had an instinctive reaction in his heart. He said in surprise, "Is there a new martial spirit superpower?" After this thought came to his mind, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately released his soul power to sense the movement of the light gate martial spirit. Sure enough, just as Mo Qingyun had predicted, the light door martial soul was forming a new martial soul divine ability. The light gate martial spirit, which had been closed for a long time, opened at this moment and a dark light gate was formed. After a while, the dark light gate was formed, and it gave out a gloomy and terrifying aura. What martial spirit superpower is this? Mo Qingyun's heart couldn't help but shake when he sensed the fluctuations of the black door of light. He was extremely surprised by this situation. In the past, the light gate martial spirit divine ability was a kind of relatively holy power. Anyway, let's see the ability of this martial spirit superpower first. Mo Qingyun's curiosity was piqued when he sensed the black door of light. He immediately unleashed his new martial soul's ability. Then, a huge dark light gate was formed in front of Mo Qingyun. After the dark light gate was formed, a deep black hole was formed in the gate, and it gave out a terrifying devouring power. Under this devouring power, some of the surrounding remnant souls were swallowed by the black hole, and they were broken down and reorganized. After a while, a few transparent figures floated out from the other side of the dark light gate, martial spirit superpower. These are ghosts, dead souls, and impermanents. Looking at the transparent figures in front of him, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He was shocked by the scene in front of him. He didn't expect that this new martial soul's ability would be able to turn a broken soul into a ghost. In this way, if he went to a place where souls were concentrated, he could summon an army of millions of undead souls. This new martial spirit superpower seems to be very domineering. Thinking about how he could summon an army of millions of undead souls with a new martial spirit superpower, Mo Qingyun could not help but feel his blood boil. He said excitedly, "Since this new martial spirit superpower can turn broken souls into ghosts, let's call it the Soul Summoning Gate. With the help of this Soul Summoning Gate, it will be very easy to deal with the 8 immortal sects." After knowing the power of the Soul Summoning Gate, Mo Qingyun was looking forward to the arrival of the 8 immortal sects. After a short moment of surprise, Mo Qingyun calmed down and continued to cultivate, waiting for the arrival of the 8 immortal sects. 7 days passed in the blink of an eye. As Mo Qingyun expected, because the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect held the unsealing ceremony, the 8 immortal sects did not notice that Yao Honghu and the others had left. At this moment, when Mo Qingyun was cultivating, 8 powerful auras arrived outside the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect. These 8 auras were sent out by the 8 immortal sects. This time, the strength of the 8 great immortal sects was much more than the previous time when they came to the Sky Devil Talisman sect. Each of them sent out 3 experts with a cultivation base at the limit of the 9th seal. In addition, there were nearly 100 ordinary 9 seal experts and more than 1,000 8 seal talisman venerables. As a result, the number of experts standing in the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect was now 24 9 seal limit experts, nearly 1,000 ordinary 9 seal talisman overlords, and nearly 10,000 8 seal talisman venerables. In the face of such a terrifying lineup, any sect on the Immortal Road would be wiped out in minutes. They're already here. Sensing the aura fluctuations outside the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect, Mo Qingyun slowly opened his eyes and walked out with a faint smile. Only one person? Seeing Mo Qingyun come out alone, the people from the 8 great immortal sects were shocked. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. After a short moment of shock, the 8 immortal sects burst into laughter, their faces full of ridicule. "Ha! I didn't see wrong, did I? There's only one person left in the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect. Could it be that the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect was so afraid of us that they disbanded their sect before we arrived? So what if they've disbanded? Under the encirclement and pursuit of the 8 immortal sects, the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect will be wiped out just like the Armament Talisman sect. Forget it. Let's ask this kid about his background first. Perhaps he can provide us with some reliable information." The 8 immortal sects were pleased with themselves for a moment, but their expressions soon turned cold as they prepared to ask Mo Qingyun about the situation. "Kid, get Yao Honghu out here to see me." A 9 seal limit expert from the Origin Talisman sect swept his gaze over Mo Qingyun and ordered Mo Qingyun angrily. Chapter 1178. The surroundings suddenly quieted down. When the people from the 8 major immortal sects heard Mo Qingyun's words, they were all stunned and looked at each other in dismay. They wanted to confirm from each other's expressions that they had not heard wrongly. This kid in front of them wanted to challenge all of them by himself. After a short moment of silence, a wave of mocking laughter came from the people from the 8 major immortal sects. "Haha, this kid said he wanted to challenge all of us by himself. That scared me to death." No wonder all the people from the Sky Demon Talisman sect ran away, leaving only this kid behind. He was originally a kid with a low IQ. Yao Honghu and those guys are so mean. They actually let this stupid kid stay in the sect. This is simply sending him to his death. Everyone, I'm going to play with this kid and teach him to eat more pigs' brains to replenish his brain capacity in his next life. In an instant, all kinds of mocking laughter came from the mouths of the people from the 8 major immortal sects. Then, a young man in a scholar's robe and holding a green feather fan flew quickly in front of Imochinian. This young man's cultivation was not weak. He had reached the middle stage of the ninth seal. If he was not in the 8 major mortal sects, he could be considered a tyrant. Kid, with your IQ, Jiachu, would not bother to kill you. Unfortunately, you joined the wrong sect. After arriving in front of Imochinian, Jiachu glanced at Imochinian and his face turned cold. Golden Dragon Coiling Talisman. As soon as Jiachu finished speaking, he took out a golden talisman and hurled it at Imochinian at an extremely fast speed. Roar. The golden talisman was thrown out by Jiachu and let out a deafening roar. It turned into a golden snake that was 100 meters long. After the golden snake roared to the sky, it lifted its huge head and looked down at Imochinian. The snake's tail coiled around Imochinian. The golden snake was also very strong. It was even stronger than Jiachu and had reached the late stage of the ninth seal. Of course, this level of strength was still not enough for the current Imochinian. Humph! You are courting death. Imochinian snorted as he looked at the snake tail that was coming towards him. He raised his hand and grabbed the golden snake. Then, a terrifying power of the law of water erupted from Imochinian's palm, turning into a huge blue palm. As soon as the blue palm was formed, it pinched the golden snake's 7 inches, releasing a domineering and violent power. Bang, bang, bang. Under the impact of this force, the golden snake's body instantly exploded, turning into pure origin energy and returning to heaven and earth. After seeing this scene, Jiachu's expression suddenly trembled, and he said in shock, "Who are you?" Among the younger generation disciples of the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect, it's impossible for there to be an expert like you. According to Jiachu's understanding of the Sky Devil Talisman sect, among the younger generation, there was absolutely no expert like Imochinian. Who am I? Hearing Jiachu's idiotic question, Imochinian revealed a look of disdain and mocked. You don't even know who I am, yet you dare to attack me. It seems that you are the one with a low IQ. Imochinian pointed at the people from the 8 major mortal sects and said to Jiachu, "Look at the nearly 10,000 people around you. None of them chose to attack me. Only one of you foolishly rushed out to be cannon fodder. With your IQ, I'm afraid eating pig brains won't help you. You might as well be reincarnated as a pig in your next life." Hearing Imochinian's humiliating words, Jiachu's body immediately trembled, not knowing whether it was because of anger or fear. However, Imochinian was not in the mood to pay attention to Jiachu's actions. After ridiculing Jiachu, he took a step towards Jiachu and raised his hand to choke Jiachu's neck. Imochinian's speed was extremely fast. Before Jiachu could dodge, he was already in front of Jiachu and raised his hand to choke Jiachu's neck. So fast. Seeing Imochinian's speed, Jiachu's body trembled again and his face turned even paler. Of course, while Jiachu was frightened, he did not forget to raise his hand to block Imochinian's palm. Crack! Facing Imochinian's overbearing attack, Jiachu's arm was broken just as he raised it up by Imochinian. There was no other way. Imochinian's physical strength was now comparable to a high-level king weapon. How could Jiachu's arm block it? After breaking Jiachu's arm, Imochinian grabbed his neck and lifted him up. "Kid, stop right now. Otherwise, I won't go easy on you." Seeing this scene, the people from the 8 major immortal sects were shocked and hurriedly scolded Imochinian. They really didn't expect that the silly kid in their eyes would actually possess such terrifying strength. After scolding Imochinian, the people did not delay and closed in on Imochinian. Seeing the actions of the people from the 8 major immortal sects, the panic on Jiachu's face was immediately relieved. He threatened Imochinian, "Kid, if you dare to kill me, the seniors from the 8 major immortal sects will not let you go. Is that so? Are you threatening me?" Hearing Jiachu's words, Imochinian raised his eyebrows and the killing intent in his eyes intensified. "You can understand it that way. Jiachu raised his head, and his expression was arrogant. He was sure that Mo Qingyun would not dare to kill him. However, they did not expect that just as he finished speaking, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold. He said coldly, "I'm sorry, I'm not afraid of being threatened, so you'd better die." Crack! After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he began to exert force in his hand and directly crushed Jiachu's neck. After his neck was crushed by Mo Qingyun, Jiachu's eyes became hollow and the aura of his body disappeared rapidly. At the same time, a gray figure with a frightened expression flew out from the top of Jiachu's head. This gray figure was Jiachu's soul. I knew that you would abandon your physical body and choose to escape with your soul. Seeing that Jiachu's soul had escaped from his physical body, Mo Qingyun's lips curled into a cold smile, and he blasted a palm towards Jiachu's soul. Then, a violent and overbearing yuan power exploded from Mo Qingyun's hand. No! Looking at the overbearing yuan power that blasted towards his soul, Jiachu instantly let out a scream, and his tone was filled with pleading. However, his pleading words did not make Mo Qingyun stop and show him mercy. Poof! Under the attack of the violent and overbearing yuan power, Jiachu's soul was instantly crushed and dissipated into the air. After seeing this scene, the people from the 8 great immortal sects were dumbfounded. They were stunned by Mo Qingyun's performance. Was he really a fool? An idiot was able to kill a mid-stage 9th seal expert in the blink of an eye, and even destroy his soul. Chapter 1179. F***CK. The idiot killed someone. Wow, what idiot? This brat was obviously pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger. We were all fooled by him. Fortunately, we weren't the ones who attacked just now. Otherwise, we would be the ones being killed now. Seeing Mo Qingyun kill Jiachu in such a domineering manner, the people from the 8 great immortal sects revealed gloomy expressions. They felt like they had been played. While the crowd was fuming with anger, a 9-seal powerhouse from the Buddha Talisman sect revealed a cold expression and said, "Buddha is merciful. Young benefactor, your sin of killing is too heavy. Let this poor monk convert you. I hope you can put down your butcher's knife and become a Buddha." As soon as the bald middle-aged man finished speaking, he took out a golden alms bowl talisman and shot it towards Mo Qingyun rapidly. The golden alms bowl talisman turned into a huge golden alms bowl. It emitted a terrifying suction force, trying to suck Mo Qingyun into the alms bowl. Young benefactor, quickly come into the bowl. Let this poor monk convert you. After activating the golden alms bowl talisman, the bald man from the Buddha Talisman sect once again tempted Mo Qingyun with his words. "Convert me?" When he heard this bald man from the Buddhist Talisman sect, Mo Qingyun revealed a ridiculing expression and sneered. "Damnable baldy! If it's in terms of the amount of sin of slaughter, then everyone present here is probably not inferior to me, right? Yet you've only converted me. Isn't that slightly unreasonable?" As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he ignored the sanctimonious bald donkey and took out the immortal burning battle halberd to attack the golden alms bowl talisman. Roar! A 1,000-meter-long fire dragon halberd radiance erupted from the immortal burning battle halberd and shot towards the golden alms bowl talisman. Bang! The fire dragon halberd radiance's attack was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it blasted on the golden alms bowl talisman, producing a deafening sound. Then, the golden alms bowl talisman was smashed into pieces by the fire dragon halberd radiance and turned into a pile of debris. Young benefactor, it seems that you are not willing to devote yourself to Buddhism. If that's the case, I can only slay the devil and defend the Tao. When he saw the golden alms bowl talisman being destroyed by Mo Qingyun, the face of the old monk from the Buddha Talisman sect sank, and his body emitted a murderous aura. "Yo, you old bald donkey, aren't you trying to persuade people to do good? Why do you have killing intent on your body?" Sensing the killing intent from the bald donkey from the Buddha Talisman sect, Mo Qingyun revealed a look of disdain and mocked him. What he hated the most in his life was this kind of hypocrite who pretended to be righteous and said one thing while doing another. To deal with a devil like you, we naturally need to use force to punish all evils in the world. In the face of Mo Qingyun's mockery, the Buddhist talisman sect's bald donkey's expression didn't change. When he heard the bald donkey's words, Mo Qingyun's disdain for him deepened. He coldly said, "If you're a whore, don't put up a monument to your chastity to avoid being disgusted by others." After mocking the bald donkey from the Buddha talisman sect, Mo Qingyun no longer paid any attention to him. His figure flashed, and he charged towards the 8 seal and 9 seal experts of the 8 great immortal sections. If I can slaughter the 8 seal and 9 seal experts of the 8 great immortal sects, won't I be able to summon the souls of talisman sovereigns and talisman overlords? When Mo Qingyun charged towards the 8 seal and 9 seal experts, a bold idea arose in his heart, and he couldn't help but feel his blood boil. Just think about it. If you lead the 8 seal and 9 seal experts and easily sweep through the powerful sects, how cool would that be? At that time, even if the 8 great immortal sects appeared, they would still be able to crush them in a crushing manner. Bloodline pressure. Scorching sun. When he arrived in the middle of the 8 seal and 9 seal experts, Mo Qingyun successively displayed 2 of his trump cards and bombarded them. Suddenly, a terrifying blood-red light, with Mo Qingyun's body as the center, frantically bombarded the surroundings. Under the impact of the blood-red light, the 8 seal and 9 seal experts immediately vomited blood, and their faces turned pale. At the same time, the blood circulation in their bodies was also greatly suppressed. However, this wasn't what made them feel fear. What really made them feel fear was the terrifying heat wave emanating from the scorching sun shield outside Mo Qingyun's body. Under the impact of this terrifying heat wave, the 8 seal experts who were closer to him were directly burned to ashes by the power of the flames. They couldn't be more dead. As for the remaining 9 seal experts, although they weren't directly burned to death, they were severely injured and vomited blood. It seemed like they wouldn't be able to last much longer. How can this be? Where did this kid come from? Why is his strength so terrifying? No, we must stop this kid. Otherwise, we will suffer heavy losses this time. Let's immediately take action and stop that kid so that the disciples in the sect can completely leave this place. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had killed hundreds of 8 seal talisman venerables and dozens of 9 seal experts in the blink of an eye, the 9 seal experts all panicked. These 8 seal talisman venerables and 9 seal talisman overlords were the mainstays of their sections. If they were massacred by Mo Qingyun, their sect would become an empty shell without enough manpower to support it. However, what made them even more vexed was that they realized that Mo Qingyun's speed was too fast, and they simply couldn't compare to him. Then, they watched as Mo Qingyun's figure constantly shuttled back and forth in the crowd. Every time he shuttled back and forth, he took a large number of lives. In a short while, nearly 3,000 people from the 8 great immortal sects had been massacred by Mo Qingyun, and this number was still increasing. Retreat. Retreat quickly. Seeing this result, the 9 seal experts of the 8 great immortal sects panicked and hurriedly gave the order to retreat. They had no choice but to retreat. At this rate, it wouldn't take more than 2 hours for Mo Qingyun to kill off all of the 8 immortal sects, 8 immortal seals, and ordinary 9 immortal seals experts. After the 9 seal experts gave the order to retreat, the people of the 8 great immortal sects no longer stayed and hurriedly fled in different directions, leaving this troublesome place. After instructing the 8 seal and 9 seal experts to flee, the 9 seal experts of the 8 great immortal sects no longer stayed. They knew very well that with Mo Qingyun's abnormal speed, they didn't have the ability to kill Mo Qingyun. Therefore, there was no point in them staying. What a pity, seeing the people of the 8 great immortal sects flee in the blink of an eye. Mo Qingyun revealed a trace of regret. He knew that he wouldn't have the chance to continue killing the people of the 8 great immortal sects. It seems that I should also head to the Thatch Talisman sect. This time, I've caused so much damage to the 8 great immortal sects. They should stop for a while. After muttering to himself, Mo Qingyun used the spirit beckoning gate and began to beckon the souls of the people he had just killed. Chapter 1180. After the soul summoning gate was formed, it emitted a terrifying, devouring power and sucked in the surrounding broken souls. After these broken souls were sucked into the soul summoning gate, they were transformed into ghosts and came out from the other end of the soul summoning gate. After a short while, ghosts with auras comparable to Talisman Supremes and Talisman Overlords floated out of the soul summoning gate. It seems that the strength of the ghosts summoned by the soul summoning gate is related to the strength of the souls it absorbs. Looking at the strength of the ghosts that floated out, Mo Qingyun revealed a look of understanding. He discovered the pattern of the ghosts summoned by the soul summoning gate. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun raised his eyebrows slightly. He couldn't help but have some doubts in his heart. He asked in confusion, "If this is the case, if I take away the souls of my enemies when I kill them, won't the soul summoning gate be unable to summon ghosts?" When this thought appeared in Mo Qingyun's mind, his curiosity immediately increased. He wanted to find a time to verify it. If the soul summoning gate had to devour broken souls to summon ghosts, then wouldn't the corpses of cultivators and monsters be useless? Once I've summoned all the souls here, I'll find a monster to verify it. Mo Qingyun pondered this for a moment before he came up with a plan. He had to clear up the doubts in his heart. After that, Mo Qingyun spent the rest of the time waiting. After several hours, the soul summoning gate finally stopped summoning ghosts. This meant that the broken souls in the surroundings had been completely devoured by it. A total of 376 Talisman Overlords and 4178 Talisman Supremes. The harvest is not bad. It's slightly more than I estimated. After counting the number of ghosts in front of him, Mo Qingyun revealed a satisfied smile. He summoned the 5 Directions miniature pagoda and began to collect the ghosts in front of him. Following that, the thousands of ghosts in front of Mo Qingyun were all collected into the 5 Directions miniature pagoda. After doing all this, Mo Qingyun didn't stay any longer. He jumped on a savage beast back and rode savage beast back to the Malfu sect. One day later, when Mo Qingyun was riding the savage beast, Xia, who had been cultivating in the 5 directional towers, woke up. Upon seeing this, Mo Qingyun's figure moved and directly entered the 5 direction small tower. When Mo Qingyun arrived in front of Xia, he discovered that Xia's cultivation had already reached the half-martial highness realm. "Xia, congratulations on improving your cultivation." Sensing that Xia's cultivation had increased, Mo Qingyun smiled brightly and congratulated Xia. "It's just a slight improvement." In response to Mo Qingyun's congratulatory words, Xia smiled faintly. She didn't feel too emotional because of the improvement in her cultivation. After exchanging some pleasantries with Mo Qingyun, Xia revealed a curious expression and asked Mo Qingyun, "Qingyun, where are we now? Have we arrived at the wasteland continent?" "Not yet." Hearing Xia's inquiry, Mo Qingyun shook his head and replied. His expression became more serious as he said, "We are still on the immortal road. I still have some matters to deal with, so we might have to stay on the immortal road for a few more days." "Oh." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Xia nodded in understanding. She explained to Mo Qingyun, "There's no rush to go to the wasteland continent. It won't be too late to go after you've dealt with your matters. Also, it's best to wait until you've reached the sky realm before going. That way, your safety will be more guaranteed." "It won't be too late to go after I've reached the sky realm?" Hearing Xia's words, Mo Qingyun revealed a curious expression and hurriedly asked Xia, "Xia, your 9-tailed fox clan can be considered a large clan in the wasteland continent. I'm sure you have a better understanding of the wasteland continent. Tell me about the wasteland continent." Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Xia nodded and agreed to Mo Qingyun's request. In her opinion, Mo Qingyun was about to enter the Wasteland Continent. Knowing more about the Wasteland Continent could be considered a good thing. Next, Xie explained the general situation of the Wasteland Continent to Mo Qingyun. After listening to Xie's explanation, Mo Qingyun's expression became serious. He couldn't help but sigh. I didn't expect the division of power in the Wasteland Continent to be so complicated and intricate. From Xie's explanation, he had a clear understanding of the Wasteland Continent situation. The various clans in the Wasteland Continent opposed each other and were thus divided into the God Clan and the Immortal Clan. The God Clan was mainly made up of the remnant clans of the Wasteland Continent that had been passed down since the Wasteland era. For example, the Dark Clan, the Sky Soul Demon Clan, the Three-Eyed Demon Clan, and so on. The Immortal Clan was made up of powerhouses from various affiliated continents who had established their forces in the Wasteland Continent. Because the members of the Immortal Clan were all outsiders from the affiliated continents, the Immortal Clan had always been ostracized and discriminated against. As a result, the members of the Immortal Clan had always been ostracized and looked down upon by the God Clan. They were oppressed by the God Clan. Because of this, the God Clan and the Immortal Clan often fought against each other. They were always at odds with each other. Of course, there was also intense competition between the various forces in the two clans. There were often incidents of sects and clans being exterminated. In short, the cultivation environment in the Wasteland Continent was extremely cruel. It couldn't be compared to the affiliated continents. After explaining the situation of the Wasteland Continent to Mo Qingyun, CF frowned and said to Mo Qingyun sternly, "Qingyun, you have the royal bloodline of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan. After you enter the Wasteland Continent, you must not tell the people in the Immortal Clan about this. Otherwise, you will have endless trouble." After hearing Xie's instructions, Mo Qingyun's expression also became serious. He sighed to himself, "I didn't expect the forces in the Wasteland Continent to be so complicated. It seems like it might not be a good choice for me to enter the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan as an outsider." "Yes." Xie nodded with a heavy expression when she heard Mo Qingyun's words. She said in a heavy voice, "The juniors that the Heavenly Soul Demons have sent to the affiliated continents to train are all recorded in the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan. If you rashly enter the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan, you might be treated as a spy. It seems like it wasn't a wise choice for me to go to the Wasteland Continent." After saying this, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but sigh. He looked a little depressed. Based on his current situation, it seemed like once his identity was exposed, the God Clan and the Immortal Clan wouldn't tolerate him. Chapter 1181. The Immortals of the Wasteland Continent have a total of 7 realms. They are the Immortals Seeking Realm, Heaven Being Realm, Heavenly Immortal Realm, True Immortal Realm, Golden Immortal Realm, Grand Unity Golden Immortal Realm, and 9 Heaven Xian Immortal Realm. Hearing Mo Qingyun ask about the cultivation realms of the Immortals, Xie gave a simple explanation. She paused for a moment before continuing. Also, the Immortal Seeking Realm has a total of 9 levels. They correspond to the 9 levels of the Martial Path: Body Tempering Realm, True Energy Realm, Yuan Dan Realm, Dan Palace Realm, Heaven Star Realm, Transcendent Realm, Supreme Realm, and Dominator Realm. It seems like the Immortals of the Golden Immortal Realm have an extremely high status in the Wasteland Continent. After knowing the cultivation realms of the Wasteland Continent, Mo Qingyun had a clear understanding of the Golden Immortal Realm. At this moment, when Mo Qingyun revealed a look of understanding, Xie paused for a moment before continuing. Also, the Immortals have their own cultivation system. Their realms are the War God Realm, True God Realm, Master God Realm, God Lord Realm, and God King Realm. They correspond to the 7 realms of the Immortals. I didn't expect that there would be a difference in cultivation realms between the Immortals and the Immortals. No wonder there's so many conflict between them. Hearing Xie's explanation, Mo Qingyun revealed a shocked expression. He couldn't help but sigh in his heart. In that case, the situation in the Wasteland Continent is very similar to the 7 great ancient paths. Because of the different cultivation systems, they are divided into different camps. Yes, it is indeed similar. However, the conflicts in the wasteland continent are even more intense. Xia nodded in agreement with Mo Qingyun's analogy. At the same time, she emphasized again. After knowing the basic situation of the wasteland continent, Mo Qingyun revealed a curious expression and asked Xia, do you know about the 1,000 illusions? 1,000 illusions? Hearing Mo Qingyun ask about the 1,000 illusions, Xia's expression changed. Her expression became serious as she said, Qingyun, the 1,000 illusions is one of the top 100 races in the wasteland continent. Apart from that, the members of the 1,000 illusions have many clones. They are not as simple as they appear on the surface. If you meet the 1,000 illusions people in the wasteland continent, 1,000 illusions is clones. Their clones are clones. Our clones are clones. Our clones are. They clones. Our clones clones. They are clones. Clones. Our clones are. Our clones clones clones. Our clones clones. They are clones. Clones of the RRR. Clones? 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 Clones of. And clones. And Qing being of. And Qing are clones, 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 clones? Qing clans is. CLCLI. Clones of the immortal were beings clones of. Clones. And clones of. After this discovery, Mo Qingyun was truly shocked. This was not good news. If Long Han Yin and Murong Qing, you were clones of someone from the 1,000 illusions, then if you wanted to take the two away, the difficulty would undoubtedly be as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Qingyun, could it be that you're acquainted with someone from the 1,000 illusions? Seeing Mo Qingyun's reaction, Xia immediately sensed that something was wrong. Her expression became serious as she said, every clones of the 1,000 illusions have their own independent consciousness and thoughts. They are equivalent to two different strangers. Therefore, you must not treat them the same. At this point, Xia's expression became even more serious. She sternly said to Mo Qingyun, also, the one thing that the people of the 1,000 illusions must not do is to cultivate. If they find out that their clones have feelings for someone else, the main body will definitely chase that person to death. Therefore, before you can determine whether the other party is the main body or a clone, you must not have feelings for them. Yes, I understand. After hearing Xia's words, Mo Qingyun realized the seriousness of the matter. He had a clear plan in his heart as he thought to himself. It seems that if I want to take Han Yin and Qing Yu away, I must quickly increase my strength. After asking Xia all the doubts in his heart, Mo Qingyun left the five-direction small pagoda and let Xia continue to cultivate and stabilize her cultivation. Not long after Mo Qingyun came out of the five-direction small pagoda, he found a talisman supreme level monster beast and killed it. After killing the talisman supreme level monster beast, Mo Qingyun took its soul and then used the soul beckoning gate to summon it. However, under the summoning of the soul beckoning gate, there was no movement in the surroundings at all. Based on this, it could be concluded that the summoning of the soul beckoning gate was limited. It must have a broken soul. It seems that the soul beckoning gate is not omnipotent. Even so, the soul beckoning gate is powerful enough. After resolving the doubts in his heart, Mo Qingyun revealed a faint smile. He did not feel disappointed because of this. After that, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more time and quickly rushed to the Mao Fu sect with Savage Beast. Mo Qingyun returned to the Thatched Talisman sect after 3 days of traveling at full speed on the back of the Savage Beast. When Mo Qingyun returned to the Mao Fu sect, Yao Honghu and the others had already arrived. They learned from the Mao Fu sect's disciples that the Sky Demon Talisman sect disciples had already settled down. After learning about this, Mo Qingyun revealed a satisfied smile and quickly walked to the Mao Fu sect's meeting hall. Qingyun, you're back. Qingyun, how are the movements of the 8 great immortal sects? Did they go to the Sky Demon Talisman sect to seek revenge? Qingyun, Now that the 8 great immortal sects are united, shouldn't we postpone the rebuilding of the weapon talisman sect? When they saw Mo Qingyun walk into the meeting hall, Tan Linzhan, Yao Honghu, Lu Feng, and the others anxiously welcomed him. Everyone, don't be anxious. Listen to me slowly. When he saw everyone's reaction, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and spread his hands. He walked to an empty chair and sat down. After Mo Qingyun sat down, he said to Yao Honghu, Sect Master, on the 7th day after you left the Sky Demon Talisman sect, the people from the 8 great immortal sects came to the Sky Demon Talisman sect. During this time, I fought with them once and killed many of their disciples. After that, I forced them to retreat. I believe that the 8 great immortal sects will behave themselves for the time being. You forced the people from the 8 great immortal sects to retreat? After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Yao Honghu and the others trembled. They were shocked by Mo Qingyun's words. They were very clear about the combined strength of the 8 great immortal sects. They did not expect that Mo Qingyun would be able to force the 8 great immortal sects to retreat even after joining forces. From this, it was clear how terrifying Mo Qingyun's strength was. While everyone in Yao Honghu were secretly shocked, Mo Qingyun turned to Tan Linzhan and said with a serious face, Master, regarding the rebuilding of the weapon talisman sect, there's no need to delay it because of the 8 great immortal sects. Everything will proceed according to the previous plan. Okay, I'll arrange it later. After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Tan Linzhan's face lit up with excitement. He could not wait any longer. After so many years, the weapon talisman sect was finally going to be rebuilt. He could finally fulfill his ancestors' wishes. Chapter 1182. After leaving the Mao Fu sect's conference hall, Mo Qingyun found He Xian and the Iron Wing and asked them about the Mao Fu sect situation. After asking around, Mo Qingyun learned that everything was normal in the Mao Fu sect, and he was completely relieved. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, Tan Linzhan and the others were limited in strength, so it was impossible for them to take care of everything. They might have overlooked some things. Now that He Xian and the Iron Wing said so, it was enough to prove that there were no problems in the Mao Fu sect. After explaining the Mao Fu sect situation to Mo Qingyun, He Xian and the other entered the 5 Directions small pagoda and began to cultivate. After sending He Xian and the other person into the 5 Directions small pagoda, Mo Qingyun didn't stay idle. Instead, he took out the refining materials he obtained from the Dao Fu sect and strengthened the Mao Fu sect's formation. Under Mo Qingyun's strengthening, the defensive and offensive power of the Dao Fu sect protecting Grand Formation quickly increased. 3 days later, Mo Qingyun stopped his actions and looked at his masterpiece with satisfaction. With this, even a first-level Sky Realm expert won't be able to break the Mao Fu sect protecting Grand Formation. When Mo Qingyun released his soul power to sense the defensive power of the sect protecting Grand Formation, his expression suddenly changed, and he said in surprise, Senior Sister Zhilan has finished her cultivation. If that's the case, let's send her out of the 5 Directions small pagoda. After thinking about this, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and moved He Zhilan out of the 5 Directions small pagoda. After He Zhilan came out of the 5 Directions small pagoda, she exchanged a few words with Mo Qingyun and went to find Fang Peng and the others. After He Zhilan left, Mo Qingyun didn't continue to stay and returned to his residence. When Mo Qingyun returned to his residence, he happened to meet Zhang Jie and the others in the courtyard. He chatted with them for a while and gave them some pointers in their cultivation. After giving Zhang Jie and the others some cultivation resources, Mo Qingyun returned to his residence. After entering his room, Mo Qingyun directly entered the 5 Directions mini pagoda and prepared to cultivate. After Mo Qingyun entered the 5 Directions pagoda, Tan Linzhan followed his instructions and spread the news of the artifact talisman sect's reconstruction on the path of immortality. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, The 8 great sects would definitely send people to annihilate the Tool Talisman sect in order to prevent it from rising again. In that case, he could take the opportunity to kill some people from the 8 great immortal sects and reduce the pressure on him when he exterminated the 8 great immortal sections. Mo Qingyun knew that if he didn't get rid of the 8 great immortal sects, the artifact talisman sect would be destroyed soon after he left the path of immortality. Therefore, before he opened the path of immortality, he had to get rid of the 8 great immortal sections. After Mo Qingyun entered the 5 directions mini pagoda, Tan Linjian and the others carried out the task of rebuilding the artifact talisman sect. In the following days, everything in the artifact talisman sect was very peaceful. Everything was carried out in an orderly manner. However, compared to the peace of the artifact talisman sect, a huge storm was set off on the path of immortality. Everyone was shocked by the news of the artifact talisman sect's reconstruction. Some people who had lived for a long time knew about the artifact talisman sect. It was once the #1 sect on the path of immortality. Who would have thought that the artifact talisman sect, which had disappeared for tens of thousands of years, would actually be rebuilt? This news was indeed too shocking. As the news spread, many sects quickly came to the artifact talisman sect to verify the authenticity of the news. However, there were also some sects with evil intentions who wanted to take advantage of the artifact talisman sect. Of course, not only did these sects fail to take advantage of the artifact talisman sect, but they were also killed by Yao Honghu and the others. After Yao Honghu and the others took action, those who originally had evil intentions toward the artifact talisman sect all put away their evil intentions. Therefore, as time passed, more and more sects gathered around the artifact talisman sect. While these sects were gathering, Mo Qingyun, who was cultivating in the 5 directions mini pagoda, entered a very crucial stage. At this moment, Mo Qingyun, who was cultivating on the 2nd floor of the 5 directions mini pagoda, began to show signs of rotting and shrinking. With Mo Qingyun's complete comprehension of the law of wood and the recovery ability of the primordial fortune bloodline in his body, there was only one possibility for his body to show signs of decay. He was undergoing the first tribulation of the 5 heavenly tribulations, the physical tribulation. Mo Qingyun didn't pay any attention to the rotting and shrinking of his body. His expression was still as calm and indifferent as ever. Then, as time passed, Mo Qingyun's body turned into a pile of silver ashes. After his body completely disappeared, only the ancient 5 directions mini pagoda was left where Mo Qingyun's body had been. Above the 5 directions mini pagoda, there was a golden sea of knowledge, an ancient stone gate, and a 9-colored continent floating in the air. These 4 things were naturally the 5 directions mini pagoda, Mo Qingyun's sea of knowledge, the light gate martial spirit, and the fortune continent. Buzz! After Mo Qingyun's body turned into powder, the light gate martial spirit suddenly trembled and emitted a ball of holy light. As soon as this ball of holy light was emitted, it enveloped the silver ashes on the ground and gave them a pure life force. Under the effect of this life force, the silver ashes slowly flew up and gradually condensed into a human figure. As this human figure took shape, his appearance became exactly the same as Mo Qingyun's, returning to the appearance of Mo Qingyun. After an unknown period of time, Mo Qingyun, whose body had been reconstructed, opened his eyes in surprise and excitement. He said excitedly, "So this is the heaven realm. It is indeed a world of difference from the sovereign realm. This is simply one with the heavens and earth." After a moment of exclamation, Mo Qingyun's lips curled into a faint smile. He said, "With my current strength, if I meet Sun Mang again, I am confident that I can kill him within 10 moves. However, if I want to fight with Ancestor Yao Lin, who is in the 2nd stage of the heaven realm, I'm afraid that I will need some tricks." After estimating his own strength, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but be delighted. He looked at his body excitedly. There was a ball of gentle light around his body. exuding an immortal spiritual aura. Immortal. Immortal artifact. The strength of my body has reached the level of immortal artifact. After sizing up his own body, Mo Qingyun said these words excitedly. His heartbeat quickened. Even in the desolate continent, immortal artifacts were an extremely rare type of weapon. Even immortals might not have them. Now, his entire body was comparable to an immortal artifact. This situation was too shocking. If others knew about this, it would definitely cause a huge commotion and arouse the curiosity of some big shots. Chapter 1183. After checking his own condition, Mo Qingyun no longer thought about it and continued to immerse himself in cultivation. As Mo Qingyun immersed himself in cultivation, his cultivation base gradually stabilized and his aura became denser and denser. Several hours later, Mo Qingyun, who had been cultivating, suddenly opened his eyes. The re-establishment ceremony of the Weapon Talisman sect has begun. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun stopped cultivating and left the 5-directional small pagoda in a flash. After leaving the 5-directional small pagoda, Mo Qingyun returned to his room and opened the door before walking out. After leaving his room, Mo Qingyun did not stop walking and directly went to the discussion hall of the Maofu sect. After a short while, Mo Qingyun arrived at the discussion hall of the Maofu sect. At this moment, Yao Honghu, Lu Feng, Yao Lin, and the others were already there. Qingyun, everything is ready. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk into the discussion hall, Tan Linzhan had a solemn expression on his face as he walked toward Mo Qingyun. Then let's begin. After hearing Tan Linzhan's words, Mo Qingyun nodded and signaled for Tan Linzhan to begin the re-establishment ceremony. After receiving Mo Qingyun's signal, Tan Linzhan walked out of the discussion hall and headed toward the location where the re-establishment ceremony would be held. When Mo Qingyun and the others saw Tan Linzhan walking out of the discussion hall, they did not hesitate and followed him out of the discussion hall. After a short while, with Tan Linzhan and the others leading the way, Mo Qingyun arrived in front of the Mao Fu sect's mountain gate and stood on a high platform that had just been built. This was a location where the sect founding ceremony would be held. This high platform was built at the edge of the Great Sect Protection Formation. Therefore, even people outside the Mao Fu sect could see what was happening on the high platform. Tan Linzhan and the others had built the high platform here mainly because they wanted the people outside the Mao Fu sect to be able to see what was going on during the sect founding ceremony. This way, even if those sects did not enter the Mao Fu sect, they would still be able to participate in the re-establishment ceremony. More importantly, this would prevent other sects from entering the Mao Talisman sect and obstructing the Tool Talisman sect's reconstruction ceremony. Mo Qingyun came to the top of the high platform and saw a platform that looked like an altar. There were many memorial tablets and offerings on it, as well as a huge cauldron the size of a table. Ancestral worship begins. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Tan Linzhan spoke to the people behind him with a solemn expression. Then he lit 3 incense sticks, bowed, and inserted the incense sticks into the giant cauldron. Seeing Tan Linzhan's actions, Fang Peng and the others lit up their incense sticks and walked towards the huge cauldron. After a short while, everyone began to burn incense and worship the ancestral tablets of the Artifact Talisman sect. After paying respects to the ancestral tablets, Tan Linzhan led everyone to complete the other sect founding ceremonies. During this process, some of the vassal forces of the 8 major immortal sects tried to disrupt the sect establishment ceremony. However, Yao Honghu and the others killed them as soon as they made a move. After seeing Yao Honghu and the others kill these people, the remaining people became much more obedient and did not dare to act presumptuously. There was no other way. The difference in strength between the two sides was too big. Unless they wanted to die, they would be courting death if they continued to cause trouble. Without anyone causing trouble, the sect founding ceremony of the Artifact Talisman sect went smoothly. After a few hours, the sect founding ceremony of the Artifact Talisman sect finally came to an end. Seeing that the sect founding ceremony of the Artifact Talisman sect had come to an end, Imo Qingyun looked outside the sect protecting Grand Formation and said loudly to the people of the various sects, "Everyone, thank you for attending the sect founding ceremony of the Artifact Talisman sect. In order to express my gratitude, I have specially arranged a banquet for all of you. Each sect can send 3 people to attend. Qingyun, now that you have invited all the sects here, what if the 8 major immortal sects take the opportunity to sneak in?" Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Tin Linzhan and the others were shocked. They were worried about Mo Qingyun's actions. In their opinion, they had built the sect founding ceremony in the sect protecting Grand Formation of the Artifact Talisman sect to prevent people from other sects from causing trouble. Now that Mo Qingyun wanted to open the sect protecting Grand Formation and let people from other sects enter the Artifact Talisman sect, wasn't he inviting a wolf into the house? What if those people caused trouble after entering? Wouldn't that be adding to their troubles? Seeing the worried expressions of Tan Linzhan and the others, Mo Qingyun smiled casually and said to the crowd, "Don't worry, everyone. Since I dare to do this, I naturally have some confidence that the 8 major immortal sects won't have a chance to cause trouble." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the crowd did not say anything else. They did not have any doubts about Mo Qingyun's actions. Now, Tin Linzhan and the others had a kind of blind trust in Mo Qingyun. They never doubted Mo Qingyun's actions. Then, Mo Qingyun formed a hand seal and opened a gap in the sect protecting Grand Formation of the Artifact Talisman sect, allowing people from other sects to enter. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, people from other sects quickly entered the Artifact Talisman sect with congratulatory gifts. In their opinion, since the Artifact Talisman sect had the support of the Heavenly Demon Talisman sect, it would definitely become a powerful sect in the future. Now that the Artifact Talisman sect had not yet developed, they would take advantage of the fact that they were doing something good to the Artifact Talisman sect. This was the most cost-effective investment in their relationship. It wasn't long before over 100 sects presented their gifts and entered the Tool Seal sect's headquarters. After these people entered the Artifact Talisman sect, Yao Lin led them to the guest hall of the Artifact Talisman sect. When Yao Lin was leading the crowd, he released the aura of a second-level sky human stage powerhouse to prevent these people from being disobedient. Under the pressure of Yao Lin's second-level sky human stage aura, the expressions of the people from the other sects trembled, and a strong sense of fear rose in their hearts. It was too terrifying. They realized that it was difficult for them to even breathe under this aura. However, while everyone was panicking, he was also flattered by the favor. They really did not expect that a second-level sky human stage powerhouse would receive them when they came to congratulate the Artifact Talisman sect with their status. Not only that, but at this moment, while they were flattered, they also became excited. Since the Artifact Talisman sect could do things for Yao Lin so easily, it meant that the Artifact Talisman sect had extremely terrifying strength. Otherwise, with Yao Lin's terrifying second-level sky human stage cultivation base, how could he be willing to listen to the Artifact Talisman sect's orders? Thinking of this, the people from the other sects who came to congratulate them all felt that they had profited greatly this time. In their opinion, they could get the approval and favor of the Artifact Talisman sect by spending a small gift. This was a really profitable deal. Chapter 1184. Mo Qingyun didn't care about the sects that didn't come to congratulate him. He wasn't going to force them to come. Mo Qingyun's thoughts were very simple. He had invited the people from the various sects to come here for nothing more than the liveliness. Anyway, it was enough to have over 100 sections. Any more, and it wouldn't be interesting. After deactivating the protective formation of the Weapon Talisman sect, Mo Qingyun didn't stay any longer. He turned around and walked towards the guest hall of the Weapon Talisman sect. After a while, Mo Qingyun arrived at the guest hall. At this time, the people of the sects were already seated. The tables in front of them were filled with food and wine. At this moment, In the guest hall around Mo Qingyun, the people of his sex looked at Mo Qingyun in a different way. Presumably, during their brief conversation, they had already discovered that the true leader of the Tool Talisman sect was this young man. Apart from that, the people from the various sects were also looking at Fong Peng with intense envy. It must have been their ancestors' good fortune to have such a genius disciple in a small six-seal sect. Mr. Mo is indeed a young hero. It only took him 10 years to establish a sect and become a powerful force. I thought Mr. Mo was extraordinary back then. Today, it seems that Mr. Mo is indeed extraordinary. Mr. Mo, I hope that the Weapon Talisman sect will take care of us small sects in the future. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk into the guest hall, the people of the sect smiled obsequiously and tried to curry favor with Mo Qingyun. You must be joking. Let's help each other. Mo Qingyun faintly smiled at everyone's actions and turned around to speak. He then walked to his seat and sat down. After Mo Qingyun sat down, the sect founding banquet officially began. When the sect founding ceremony began, the people of the sect stood up and raised their cups to Mo Qingyun. Mr. Mo, I wish your Tool Talisman sect the best of luck to become as famous as the top 10 immortal sections. Mr. Mo, I, Li Tian, wish you the best of luck in breaking through the Nine Seals realm and reaching the celestial being realm. Mr. Mo, I have a daughter who's 16 years old. She's very pretty. I wonder if she can join the Equipment Talisman sect? Old man Song, you want your daughter to follow Mr. Mo and serve him, don't you? All of a sudden, all the people from the various sects and clans were trying their best to get into Mo Qingyun's good books. At this moment, while everyone was trying their best to please Mo Qingyun, terrifying auras enveloped the entire Weapon Talisman sect. Sensing these terrifying auras, the expressions of the people from the various sects twitched, and intense fear appeared on their faces. They had never expected that the Artifact Talisman sect would be attacked by powerful enemies at this moment. Originally, they had come to attend the founding banquet of the Artifact Talisman sect because they wanted to use this opportunity to climb up the big tree that was the Artifact Talisman sect. Who would have thought that they would be implicated instead of climbing up the big tree that was the Artifact Talisman sect? Thinking of this, the people from the various sects and clans looked aggrieved, and a strong sense of regret arose in their hearts. If they had known this would happen, they would rather not climb up to the Artifact Talisman sect than be implicated like this. This was because they could clearly feel that the strength of the people outside the Artifact Talisman sect was at least at the 8-seal talisman venerable level. In other words, there were thousands of powerhouses at the 8-seal talisman venerable level and above outside the Artifact Talisman sect. Thousands of powerhouses at the 8-seal talisman venerable level and above. What kind of strength was this? Everyone could no longer describe it in their hearts. However, they were certain of one thing. Other than the top 10 immortal sects, no other force had such strength. It could even be said that some of the weaker ones among the top 10 immortal sects might not have such strength. Thinking of this, despair and regret appeared on the faces of the people from the various sects who had come to congratulate them. They would never have thought that the Artifact Talisman sect had just been established, and they would have such a force as the top 10 immortal sections. Compared to the panic of the people from the various sects and clans, although Tan Linjan and the others were in a better mood, they were all frowning. After all, with their experience, they had never seen such a big lineup. In the face of such a terrifying lineup, even if they trusted Mo Qingyun, they still felt a little uncertain. Qingyun, what should we do now? Looking at the reactions of the people below, Tan Linjan had a serious expression and asked Mo Qingyun for his opinion. Don't worry, everyone. Leave everything to me. Hearing Tan Linjan's words, Mo Qingyun glanced at the crowd with a faint smile and comforted them. Then, Mo Qingyun turned to look at the people from the various sects and said in a clear voice, "Everyone, please don't be anxious. It's just a few rascals attacking. You can continue drinking and chatting here. After I go out and kill them, I'll come back and continue drinking and chatting with you." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he stood up and walked out of the guest hall. Mr. Mo, Are you going to fight the attackers alone? Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the people from the various sects were shocked by Mo Qingyun's actions. Mo Qingyun was going to fight thousands of experts who were at the 8th Seal Talisman Supremacy realm and above by himself. This was too crazy. That's right. In response to the questions of the people from the various sects, Mo Qingyun nodded with a serious expression and said, "Everyone, don't worry. I can fight alone. Moreover, you're a guest of the Weapon Seal sect, so I have to leave someone to serve you, right?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's answer, the people from the various sects were stunned and could not accept this fact for a long time. After a short moment of being stunned, an 8th Seal Talisman Supremacy expert from the various sects smiled at Mo Qingyun and said, "Mr. Mo, we're going to kill the strong enemies alone. Why don't we keep the food and wine warm and wait for you to return from killing the strong enemies before continuing? Thank you for your kindness, sect leader, but there's no need to go through so much trouble." Hearing the sect leader's words, Mo Qingyun shook his head with a faint smile and said with a bold expression, "It's just killing some rascals. It won't take much time. A moment is enough. The food and wine won't get cold." As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he walked out of the reception hall without waiting for the people present to react. When Mo Qingyun walked out of the reception hall, the people in the hall looked at each other. For a moment, they did not understand what Mo Qingyun meant. At this moment, while everyone was puzzled, Mo Qingyun had already arrived outside the Weapon Seal sect. Only one person? Seeing Mo Qingyun walk out of the Weapon Seal sect, the people from the 8 sects who were attacking were all surprised. However, after a short moment of surprise, panic appeared on their faces. It's him. It's Mo Qingyun who killed thousands of their experts alone outside the Heavenly Demon Talisman Gate. Oh no, it's Mo Qingyun. Everyone retreat. After seeing how powerful Mo Qingyun was, the 8 sects immediately prepared to flee when they saw that the person who came was Mo Qingyun. Chapter 1185. Retreat? Are you in a hurry? Mo Qingyun sneered as he looked at the people from the 8 immortal sects who were about to retreat. His body turned into a rainbow. Immediately after, Mo Qingyun arrived in front of the people from the 8 immortal sects and blocked their path. After blocking the path of the 8 great immortal sects, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate to release the ghosts from the 5 directional pagodas. In a short while, thousands of terrifying auras comparable to 8 and 9 seals experts appeared beside Mo Qingyun. Kill. After summoning these ghosts, Mo Qingyun did not waste any time talking to the people from the 8 immortal sects and decisively charged towards them. When Mo Qingyun charged towards the people from the 8 immortal sects, the ghosts followed closely behind and charged towards the people from the 8 immortal sects. What were these things? How did Mo Qingyun summon these things? These ghosts are so powerful. All of them are comparable to 8 or 9 seal experts. Senior brothers, look. That looks like senior brother Liu Can's ghost. That's junior sister Song Rong's ghost, as well as junior sister Wang Xing and senior brother Li Ji. Aren't they all dead? Why are there ghosts here? Could it be that Mo Qingyun can summon the ghosts of the dead to fight for him? No, impossible. How can there be such a terrifying sorcery in this world? Seeing the ghosts charging towards them at an extremely fast speed, the people from the 8 immortal sects were terrified. They were even more terrified of Mo Qingyun in their hearts. Now, Mo Qingyun's methods were completely beyond their understanding. They had never seen anything like this before. Scorching sun, Mo Qingyun did not show mercy to the people from the 8 immortal sects who were terrified. He immediately used the first move of the Immortal Raging Flames technique. Then, a shield emitting a terrifying heat wave condensed around Mo Qingyun's body. After the Scorching Sun shield was formed, Mo Qingyun's body once again turned into a stream of light and rushed into the crowd of the 8 immortal sections. At present, Mo Qingyun's cultivation base had broken through once again, reaching the terrifying level of the sky human stage. Thus, The rate at which he killed was even faster than before. At this moment, Mo Qingyun was like a ferocious tiger charging into a flock of sheep. Every time he raised his blade, he would take away several lives. However, due to the large number of ghosts, their killing speed was faster than Mo Qingyun's, and their killing methods were also more brutal. Under Mo Qingyun and the specter's frenzied slaughter, the clouds above the Tool Seal sect were soon dyed blood red. Run, run. Mo Qingyun is a demon. A demon. Don't kill me. As long as you don't kill me, I'll do anything. Senior sister, I'm Tang Wan. Don't you remember me? Faced with Mo Qingyun and the specter's frenzied slaughter, the people of the 8 immortal sects were quickly scared out of their wits. They let out terrified and pleading words one after another. However, Mo Qingyun chose to ignore their terrified pleas for mercy. Just like that, about a few minutes later. This time, nearly 70% of the people from the 8 immortal sects who had attacked the Tool Seal sect were killed by Mo Qingyun. The remaining 30% fled in a sorry state. As for those who fled, Mo Qingyun did not chase after them. Instead, he allowed them to leave. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, after these 2 frenzied massacres, the 8 immortal sects were no longer a concern. Once the Tool Seal sect's founding hall was over, he would pay a visit to the 8 immortal sects one by one and destroy them one by one. After defeating the people of the 8 immortal sects, Mo Qingyun stored the specters into the 5-directional pagoda, and at the same time collected the corpses of the 8 immortal sections. Soul Summoning Gate. After doing all this, Mo Qingyun did not forget to use the Soul Summoning Gate to summon the shattered souls around him. After using the Soul Summoning Gate, Mo Qingyun had Mo take the 5-directional pagoda and stay here to collect the summoned specters. After giving out all the instructions, Mo Qingyun's figure turned into a ray of light and flew back to the Tool Seal sect at an extremely fast speed. Seeing Mo Qingyun return to the Tool Seal sect, the people of the other sects who had stayed outside the Tool Seal sect were all dumbfounded. The scene in the air just now had given them quite a fright. It was something they would never forget for the rest of their lives. The force formed by thousands of 8 and 9 seal powerhouses had been slaughtered by Mo Qingyun to the point that they could not even resist. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, they would not have believed it even if they were beaten to death. That Mo Qingyun is so terrifying. He actually killed thousands of experts from the 8 great immortal sects on his own. We've suffered a great loss this time. If we knew Mo Qingyun was so strong, we would have gone to congratulate the Tool Seal sect. Sigh. The opportunity will never come again. What we should do in the future is to not provoke the Tool Seal sect. At that instant, the people of the other sects outside the Tool Seal sect had a clear thought in their hearts. In their opinion, it would not be long before the other sects on the immortal path would submit to the Tool Seal sect. Meanwhile, while the people outside the Tool Seal sect were sighing, Mo Qingyun had returned to the reception hall of the Tool Seal sect. Qingyun, you're back. Has the matter been settled? Even though they knew the aura looming over the Tool Seal sect had disappeared, most likely because the people of the 8 great immortal sects had left, Elder Tan and the others could not help but ask. It could not be helped, as Mo Qingyun's speed was simply too fast. It had completely exceeded their expectations. In response to Tan Linjian and the others' questions, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and said, "Yes, it's been settled. Everyone, the wine and dishes aren't cold yet, right?" After replying to Tan Linjian and the others, Mo Qingyun walked back to his seat and joked with the people of the other sections. Then he said, "Everyone, what happened just now gave you a fright. Let me toast to you all. Mr. Mo, you really know how to joke. I haven't even had a cup of wine yet. That's not all. I had just picked up my chopsticks when Mr. Mo came back. Why do I feel like Mr. Mo came back just as I blinked?" Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the people of the other sects were all flattered and stood up to flatter him. After seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, the people of the other sect's impression of Mo Qingyun changed greatly once again. Previously, although they knew that Mo Qingyun was extraordinary. They did not know Mo Qingyun's true strength. After what happened just now, they had a general understanding of Mo Qingyun's strength. If nothing unexpected happened, Mo Qingyun's current combat strength was probably at the peak of the path of immortality. In front of such a person, how could they be the slightest bit impudent? Mo Qingyun did not stop the people from acting like this. With his current status, he could still accept it. Moreover, now that the people of these sects were trying to curry favor with the Weapon Talisman sect, it was natural for them to be a little more humble. After that, because the people of the other sects knew of Mo Qingyun's strength, they kept trying to curry favor with Mo Qingyun and said flattering words. Although Mo Qingyun was a little unhappy with their actions, he did not stop them or show any displeasure. Chapter 1186. Several hours later, the banquet finally came to an end. Immediately after, the people from the various sects who had come to congratulate them all left in satisfaction. To them, attending the banquet for the reconstruction of the Weapon Talisman sect was the wisest decision of their lives. When the people from the various sects left, Mo Qingyun returned to his residence. At this time, Mo was already waiting for him in his room. "I'll return the 5 Directions miniature pagoda to you." Seeing that Mo Qingyun had returned to his room, Mo took out the 5 Directions miniature pagoda and handed it to Mo Qingyun. "I'll send you into the 5 Directions miniature pagoda." After receiving the 5 Directions miniature pagoda from Mo Qingyun sent Mo into the 5 Directions miniature pagoda for him to cultivate. After sending Mo into the 5 Directions miniature pagoda, Mo Qingyun made a rough count of the number of ghosts in the 5 Directions miniature pagoda. After a round of counting, Mo Qingyun discovered that the number of 8-note talisman supremacy ghosts had exceeded 5,000. As for the number of 9-seal talisman supremacy ghosts, although it was not as terrifying as the number of 8-note talisman supremacy ghosts, it was still more than 1,000. 5,000 8-note talisman supremacy ghosts in addition to 1,000 9-seal talisman supremacy ghosts. What kind of lineup was this? Mo Qingyun could not describe it now. Perhaps the combined strength of the current 8 great immortal sects was only at this level. Perhaps they might not even be able to reach this level. As such, it wouldn't be difficult for Mo Qingyun to annihilate the 8 great immortal sects with the help of these ghosts. Mo Zai's cultivation is about to break through to the heaven-human realm. At this moment, when Mo Qingyun was counting the number of ghosts, the commotion caused by Mo Zai's cultivation was immediately sensed by Mo Qingyun. Immediately, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and came to Mo Zai's side. After coming to Mo Zai's side, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate at all and immediately helped Mo Qingyun break through to the heaven-human realm. His situation was exactly the same as Mo Qingyun's. When Mo Zai broke through to the heaven tier, his body began to fester and age bit by bit. Not long after, Mo Zai's body completely turned into sand, turning into a pile of purple powder. Condense. As Mo Qingyun's physical body completely turned to dust, he no longer hesitated and immediately helped Mo Zai reconstruct her physical body. Mo Zai's mind was connected to Mo Qingyun's. Coupled with the fact that Mo Qingyun possessed the primordial creation bloodline, Mo Zai's physical body was quickly reconstructed. As Mo Zai's body was completely reconstructed, an extremely terrifying aura emanated from his body. This aura was precisely the aura that a celestial realm elite could possess. This meant that Mo Zai's cultivation had successfully broken through to the celestial realm. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had successfully broken through, Mo Qingyun did not stay any longer and allowed her to cultivate and stabilize her cultivation. Since the matter with the artifact seal sect is over, it's time to take care of the 8 great sections. Leaving Mo Qingyun's cultivation area, Mo Qingyun didn't want to waste any more time. After leaving some instructions to Tan Linjian and the others, he left the artifact seal sect. After leaving the Artifact Seal sect, Mo Qingyun headed straight for the Origin Seal sect, which was closest to the Artifact Seal sect. He was prepared to destroy the Origin Seal sect first. 10 days later, a shocking piece of news spread through the path of immortality. One of the 10 great sects, the Origin Seal sect, had been destroyed in a single night. However, all of this was just the beginning. 15 days later, one of the 10 great sects, the Demon Seal sect, had also been destroyed. 22 days later, one of the 10 great sects, the Buddha Seal sect, had also been destroyed. 3 months later, apart from the Sky Demon Seal sect and the Dao Seal sect, the other 8 great sects of the Path of Immortality had all been destroyed. When the news spread, not only were all the factions on the Path of Immortality alarmed, but the other 6 factions of the ancient roads were also alarmed. Following this, many experts from the other 6 ancient roads came to the Path of Immortality to verify the authenticity of the news. The other 6 experts from the ancient roads naturally learned about the Artifact Seal sect after arriving on the Path of Immortality. Then, they all came to investigate the Artifact Seal sect out of curiosity. However, after arriving at the Artifact Seal sect, they didn't have the chance to leave. This was because as soon as they entered the Artifact Seal sect, they were captured by Mo Qingyun in a domineering manner. After capturing the 6 experts from the ancient roads, Mo Qingyun didn't kill them. Instead, he planted a soul mark in their minds. Mo Qingyun didn't kill them mainly because he wanted them to protect the Artifact Seal sect for him in the future. Originally, Mo Qingyun had planned to summon a ghost to protect the Artifact Seal sect for him in the future. However, not long ago, something that shocked Mo Qingyun happened before his eyes. Mo Qingyun discovered that the cultivation bases of the ghosts would continuously weaken with the passage of time. Moreover, the longer they existed, the faster their cultivation bases would weaken. Under Mo Qingyun's observation, he discovered that a 9-seal ghost cultivation base would drop to 6 seal after 3 months. As for 8-seal ghosts, their cultivation bases would drop to 3 seal after 3 months. As a result, the value of the ghost immediately became much less than what it was worth. Mo Qingyun discovered that the strength of the ghost would weaken with the passage of time. He sighed inwardly. It seems that it's impossible to create an army of ghosts. Originally, Mo Qingyun had thought that after he destroyed the 8 great immortal sects, he would be able to create an army of ghosts. But now, it seemed that his dream was about to be dashed. Now that the Artifact Seal sect has stabilized, it's time for me to head to the Wasteland continent. Seeing that everything had been taken care of, Mo Qingyun didn't want to stay on the Path of Immortality any longer. He decided to head to the Wasteland continent. There's only a month left until the Wasteland pageant begins. It'll be about time when I reach the path of slaughter. Mo Qingyun sighed inwardly and said in a low voice, I hope that the cultivation bases of the ghosts and the 5 directional pagodas won't drop too much in the next month. They'll be able to help me when I enter the path of slaughter. After Mo Qingyun made his decision, he walked out of his room and found Tan Linzhan and the others in the conference hall. He told them his thoughts. After learning that Mo Qingyun was going to leave the path of immortality and head to the Wasteland continent, Tan Linzhan and the others all revealed expressions of reluctance. However, they didn't try to persuade Mo Qingyun to head to the Wasteland continent. They allowed Mo Qingyun to continue staying on the path of immortality. In their opinion, the path of immortality was too small for Mo Qingyun. With the talent that Mo Qingyun displayed, he should enter a wider world and soar to a higher sky. Chapter 1187. After deciding to set off for the Wild Continent, Mo Qingyun didn't stay any longer. He left after handing over everything. During this time, he returned the immemorial artifact Talisman Scroll to Tan Linzhan. He also left behind the 4 spiritual puppets. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, the 4 spiritual puppets were no longer of much use to him and his incarnation. Therefore, instead of wasting the 4 spiritual puppets on him, he might as well leave them to guard the artifact talisman sect. Letting the 4 spiritual puppets guard the artifact talisman sect could also solve the urgent problem of not having a peak 9th seal expert. When Mo Qingyun went to the path of slaughter in the Tool talisman sect, Yao Lin also left with him. This was because if Mo Qingyun wanted to participate in the Wild Continent gathering, he had to be recommended by a sect. Moreover, the sect that recommended Mo Qingyun to participate in the Wild Continent gathering also needed to have a spot to participate in the Wild Continent gathering. As the Artifact Talisman sect had just been established, they didn't have such qualifications. Therefore, Mo Qingyun could only rely on the Sky Devil Talisman sect's recommendation. Mo Qingyun and Yao Lin were both in the Sky Realm. The two of them flew at full speed, so their speed was naturally extremely fast. About 20 days later, Mo Qingyun and Yao Lin arrived at the entrance of the Path of Slaughter. When Mo Qingyun and Yao Lin arrived at the entrance of the Path of Slaughter, the entrance was already filled with people from various ancient paths. Among these people, there were humans, demons, and demons. Without exception, these people's strength was extremely powerful. Every one of them was in the Sovereign Realm or above. It was especially so for the 5 people at the front of the group. All 5 of them were at the Celestial Realm. Among them, the black-clad young man and the blue-clad young lady were the strongest. Both of them were in the 2nd level of the Sky Realm. Qingyun, after you enter the Path of Slaughter, you must be careful of the black-clad young man and the blue-clad young lady. When Mo Qingyun was sizing up the black-clad young man and the blue-clad young lady, Yao Lin had a serious expression and reminded him softly. Yes. Hearing Yao Lin's reminder, Mo Qingyun nodded solemnly and asked with a curious expression, Ancestor Yao Lin, who are those 2 people? That young man is the Devil Road's first devil son, 100 Faces. Rumor has it that his cultivation base has already reached the 3rd level of the Heaven Realm. When Yao Lin mentioned the 100 Transformations Devil Child's cultivation, a strong sense of reverence was revealed on his face. From the looks of it, if this 100 Transformations Devil Child cultivation was not at the 3rd level of the Heaven tier, it was most likely not too far off. Demon Child's 100 Transformations? It's him. After learning the identity of the black-clothed youth from Yao Lin, Mo Qingyun revealed a surprised expression. He was very surprised by the identity of this black-clothed youth. He never would have thought that this black-robed youth was the one who'd sent the demons to invade the continent. After knowing the identity of the 100 Transformations Devil's Son, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but look at the blue-clothed girl. He asked Yao Lin in a probing manner, Old Ancestor, since this black-clothed youth is the 100 Transformations Devil's Son, could that blue-clothed girl be the Ghost Moon Saintess? You know the Ghost Moon Saintess? Seeing that Mo Qingyun had guessed the identity of the blue-clothed girl, Yao Lin revealed a surprised expression. He was a little surprised by Mo Qingyun's words. However, after being stunned for a short while, Yao Lin revealed an understanding smile on his face and said, A fair and graceful woman is a good match for a gentleman. Qingyun, if you could pursue the Ghost Moon Saintess, it will be of great help to you when you enter the Wild Continent in the future. Hearing Yao Lin's words, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but be a little speechless. What was this all about? The relationship between him and the Ghost Moon Saintess wasn't as simple as Yao Lin thought. Given that he'd killed the Ghost Moon Saintess's subordinate, it would be good enough if the Ghost Moon Saintess didn't find trouble with him. Why would she accept his pursuit? However, regarding this matter, Mo Qingyun didn't explain. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, if he explained to Yao Lin, it would only make things worse. After that, Mo Qingyun revealed a serious expression and changed the topic to Yao Lin. Old Ancestor, tell me about the other 3 people's backgrounds. All right. Hearing Mo Qingyun's request, Yao Lin nodded without hesitation and said, The other 3 people are the top prodigies of the other 3 Ancient Road. They all have the cultivation of the 1st level of the Sky Human Realm. Among them, then, Yao Lin explained the backgrounds of the 3 people to Mo Qingyun one by one. After listening to Yao Lin's explanation, Mo Qingyun had a clear understanding of the situation of the three people in his heart. Among the three people, the young man with a pair of bullhorns was the top prodigy of the Demon Road, Tuo Xian. The young girl in a red dress beside Tuo Xian was the top prodigy of the Mortal Road, Chu Yunyun. The young man in black armor in front of Chu Yunyun was the top prodigy of the Underworld Road, Han Lan. After learning about the origins of the 100 Transformations Devil Child and the other four, Mo Qingyun regarded them more seriously and secretly raised his guard a little. These five people were the top prodigies of the 5 Ancient Road. They were definitely not as simple as they seemed on the surface. He had to be careful when dealing with them. Mr. Mo, you're here. Mr. Mo, please. When they saw Mo Qingyun walking towards the entrance of the Path of Slaughter, the people participating in the Path of Slaughter all revealed respectful expressions. They had long heard of Mo Qingyun's prowess. With the strength of one person, he had slaughtered thousands of powerhouses with 8 and 9 seals cultivation bases. Who could compete with such a battle record? At that moment, in the hearts of the people on the path of immortality, Mo Qingyun had become a synonym for invincibility and invincibility. Everyone, please. Seeing the actions of the crowd, Mo Qingyun nodded with a bold smile and walked to the front of the crowd on the path of immortality. Seeing the respectful actions of the crowd towards Mo Qingyun, the people from the other 5 Ancient Road looked curiously at Mo Qingyun. Who is that kid? He seems to have an extraordinary identity on the path of immortality. I've never seen him before. He should be a prodigy who has just emerged. When we enter the Path of Slaughter, we can pay attention to him. A bunch of blind fools. That kid is the top prodigy of the Path of Immortality, Mo Qingyun. Rumor has it that this Mo Qingyun's talent is extraordinary. In just 10 years, his cultivation base rose from the 5 seals level to the celestial realm. When abnormal cultivation talent. I'm afraid that the 100 Transformations Devil Child and the Ghost Moon Saintess cultivation speed may not be comparable to his. At that moment, the people from the other 5 Ancient Road were whispering about Mo Qingyun. At that moment, when everyone was talking about Mo Qingyun, the way they looked at Mo Qingyun had obviously undergone a huge change. Since ancient times, prodigies and powerhouses had always been respected. Mo Qingyun was naturally no exception. With his talent, it was enough to win the respect and worship of everyone. I didn't think that this kid would actually go to the path of immortality and become the top prodigy there. When everyone looked at Mo Qingyun, the 100 Transformations Devil Child also noticed Mo Qingyun. His face immediately turned gloomy, and his body emitted a killing intent. Chapter 1188. Compared to the 100-changed Demon Child's anger, the Ghost Moon Saintess looked at Mo Qingyun with curiosity. After looking at Mo Qingyun carefully, the Ghost Moon Saintess smiled faintly. She supported her chin with her index finger and said, "A kid from an affiliated continent can become the #1 genius in the path of immortality in just 10 years. How interesting." Sensing the gazes of the demon son of 100 Change and the Ghost Moon Saintess, Mo Qingyun turned around and looked at them. Their gazes met. Seeing Mo Qingyun looking at the two of them, the devil son of myriad transformations coldly snorted and turned his head away with an unhappy expression. The 100 Change demon child thought that he would kill Mo Qingyun when the path of death opened. As a result, there was nothing much to talk about between him and Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun didn't care about the 100 Change demon child's actions. He turned to look at the Ghost Moon Saintess. The Ghost Moon Saintess smiled when she saw Mo Qingyun looking at her. She said to Mo Qingyun, "You must be Big Brother Qingyun? I've been wanting to see you for a long time." "Is that so?" Mo Qingyun didn't care about the Ghost Moon Saintess' seductive actions. He said indifferently, "I don't think you just want to see me, right?" The Ghost Moon Saintess put on an aggrieved expression when she saw Mo Qingyun's cold attitude. She looked at Mo Qingyun with resentment and said sadly, "Big Brother Qingyun, You bullied me in the Tianhan continent. Are you going to deny it now? Mo Qingyun bullied the Ghost Moon Saintess? As soon as the Ghost Moon Saintess said this, everyone from the 5 major immortal paths looked at Mo Qingyun in shock. This was especially true for a young man who was looking at Mo Qingyun with eyes full of adoration. The Ghost Moon Saintess was the #1 beauty in the Ghost Road. In addition to her charming appearance, it was a blessing to be seen by her. Mo Qingyun actually dared to bully her. This was really too awesome. This Mo Qingyun is too awesome. He actually bullied the Ghost Moon Saintess. I don't know. How did Mo Qingyun bully the Ghost Moon Saintess? That scene must have been very interesting. Sure, Mo Qingyun can bully the Ghost Moon Saintess, but this is not something we can talk about. But then again, this Mo Qingyun is really powerful. A person from a subsidiary continent can actually grow to this level. At this moment, everyone had a look of admiration on their faces. In their hearts, they were completely convinced by Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun only came from a subsidiary continent. His starting point was much lower than all of them. But now, his achievements have far surpassed them. This is indeed worthy of their respect. At this moment, everyone looked at Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun looked at the Ghost Moon Saintess with a faint smile and said, "Saintess, you must be joking. You're the Ghost Road Saintess. I'm just a kid from a subsidiary continent. It's good enough that you don't bully me. I don't have the qualifications to bully you." "Oh, is that so?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the Ghost Moon Saintess smiled slyly. She winked at Mo Qingyun and said, "Why don't you follow this Saintess after we enter the path of slaughter? This Saintess will guarantee your safety in the path of slaughter." Hearing the Ghost Moon Saintess' words, the surrounding people of the 5 paths immediately showed an expression of envy. At this moment, the admiration they had for Mo Qingyun grew even stronger. When the Ghost Moon Saintess said that Mo Qingyun bullied her on the Tianhan continent, she didn't show any anger. Instead, she looked at Mo Qingyun with affection. From this, it could be seen that Mo Qingyun and the Ghost Moon Saintess relationship on the Tianhan continent wasn't simple. A man bullied a woman, and the woman didn't hate him. This was a lot of information. After that, the way everyone looked at Mo Qingyun changed greatly. Seeing the way everyone looked at him, Mo Qingyun was speechless. It seemed that he wouldn't be able to explain himself. "Saintess, you must be joking. The path of slaughter is a place for us to gain experience. How can a 7-foot man like me be protected by you?" Mo Qingyun calmed himself down and replied to the Ghost Moon Saintess with a serious expression. "Huh, a 7-foot man? You don't even dare to be with me." The Ghost Moon Saintess covered her mouth and smiled at Mo Qingyun's explanation. She blinked her beautiful eyes at Mo Qingyun. "Big brother Qingyun, are you afraid of me? If worst comes to worst, I won't take responsibility." Responsibility? Hearing this, Mo Qingyun felt a headache coming on. He was completely convinced by the Ghost Moon Saintess. Logically speaking, Mo Qingyun had killed countless of her subordinates. Shouldn't this girl be like the demon child of multiform, wanting to cut him into pieces? But the Ghost Moon Saintess' actions were completely different from what Mo Qingyun thought. What does this girl want? At this moment, Mo Qingyun's mind was spinning as he tried to figure out the Ghost Moon Saintess' intentions. However, Mo Qingyun quickly gave up. He couldn't figure out the Ghost Moon Saintess' true intentions. At this moment, while Mo Qingyun was pondering, the way the people looked at him changed again. Looking at everyone's eyes, if Mo Qingyun didn't agree to be with the Ghost Moon Saintess, he wasn't a real man. Mo Qingyun had a headache facing this situation. He was completely convinced by the Ghost Moon Saintess. Fortunately, when Mo Qingyun was in a dilemma, the demon child of multiform glared at the Ghost Moon Saintess and said, "Ghost Moon, keep some distance from this kid. Otherwise, don't blame me for being merciless." After the demon child of multiform finished his words, he ignored the Ghost Moon Saintess and closed his eyes again. Hearing the demon child of multiform's words, the Ghost Moon Saintess' expression quickly changed. She blinked at Mo Qingyun and stopped talking. Seeing that the ghost moon saintess stopped talking, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed. He wasn't good at reasoning with women. However, before Mo Qingyun could relax, Yao Lin smiled meaningfully and said, "Qingyun, I didn't know that there was a past between you and the ghost moon saintess. As an experienced person, I advise you not to let go of this opportunity." Mo Qingyun was completely speechless. He quickly changed the topic and asked Yao Lin, "Ancestor, when will the path of slaughter open? How long do we have to wait here?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Yao Lin revealed a contemplative expression and began to plan in his heart. Yao Lin pondered for a while and said, "Calculating the time, the wilderness saint will arrive in about 3 days. At that time, the path of slaughter will open." Okay, I know. Chapter 1189. Right. The corridor I entered through the teleportation gate of the Immortal of Wrath Fire last time seems to be the path of slaughter. Just as Mo Qingyun was about to close his eyes to rest, his expression suddenly changed. A great doubt rose up in his heart. The last time I entered the path of slaughter was a few years ago. At that time, the entrance to the path of slaughter shouldn't have opened yet. If that's the case, how did those people enter the path of slaughter? Is there another entrance to the path of slaughter? With that in mind, Mo Qingyun opened his eyes. He looked at Yao Lin curiously and asked, "Ancestor Yao Lin, do we have to wait for the Saint of the Wilderness to arrive to enter the path of slaughter? Is there no other way to enter?" Yao Lin's expression changed slightly when he heard Mo Qingyun's question. He never thought that Mo Qingyun would ask something like that. However, he did not think too much about it. When he thought about how Mo Qingyun had entered the path of slaughter before, he only thought that Mo Qingyun had asked on a whim. After a brief moment of surprise, Yao Lin became much more serious. He gazed into the distance and said, "Actually, if you want to enter the path of slaughter, apart from waiting for the Saint of the Wilderness to open the entrance, you can also enter through some of the corridors of death. However, the corridors of death are extremely dangerous." Corridors of death? Mo Qingyun's eyes immediately lit up when he heard Yao Lin's words. He revealed an expression of understanding as he said, "It seems that the corridor I entered back then should be the corridor of death that ancestor Yao Lin spoke of. It's not the true path of death." Yao Lin paused slightly as Mo Qingyun pondered before continuing. "In addition, you won't be able to obtain a residence token from the wilderness continent if you enter the path of slaughter through the corridors of death. Even if you enter the wilderness continent through the path of slaughter, you will be constantly pursued by the immortal guards." A residence token from the wilderness continent? Mo Qingyun raised his eyebrows slightly as he pondered. He was extremely curious about this residence token from the wilderness continent that Yao Lin spoke of. Yao Lin guessed Mo Qingyun's thoughts when he saw Mo Qingyun's expression. He explained to Mo Qingyun, "A residence token from the wilderness continent is similar to the identity token of every sect. Only by possessing a residence token can you obtain the recognition of the various large organizations on the wilderness continent. Otherwise, you'll be constantly pursued and exiled." I didn't expect the wasteland continent's control over outsiders to be so strict. Mo Qingyun's yearning for the wilderness continent became even greater. The path of the wilderness continent. As the saying goes, the great waves wash away the sand. Under the harsh elimination of the wasteland continent, those who were able to establish themselves on the wasteland continent were definitely the elites of the elites. It was extremely rare to be able to compete with these elites, and it would be easier for them to break through and reach the peak. Yao Lin's expression became slightly more stern when he reached there. He warned Mo Qingyun sternly, "Qingyun, after you enter the path of slaughter, you have to be careful of the people who pass through the death corridor. If you come across them, it's best if you directly kill them." "Why?" Mo Qingyun was confused when he heard Yao Lin's instructions. He subconsciously asked in return. Seeing Mo Qingyun's confusion, Yao Lin immediately explained to Mo Qingyun, the people who pass through the death corridor to enter the path of slaughter are all wanted demons. They're all treacherous, cruel, and vicious. Also, they'll kill you mercilessly and steal your residence tokens. As long as they can gather 10 of them, they'll be able to exchange them for a residence token. I see. In that case, it's not necessarily a good thing to have a residence token. Mo Qingyun understood what Yao Lin was thinking. It turned out that there was a hunting relationship between the two parties. The higher-ups of the Wasteland continent must have set up such a rule as a test for the people with the residence tokens. If they couldn't even keep their residence tokens, what right did they have to establish themselves in the Wasteland continent? Seeing that Mo Qingyun understood what he meant, Yao Lin's expression relaxed a little. He then instructed Mo Qingyun, also, after you enter the path of slaughter, try your best to kill as many demonic beasts as possible. The more demonic beasts you kill, the better your cultivation will be in the Wasteland continent. Understood. Mo Qingyun immediately understood. Wasn't the 10,000 talismans immortal path like this? Mo Qingyun exchanged a few more words with Yao Lin before he sat down cross-legged and closed his eyes to rest. Just like that. After Mo Qingyun waited for 3 days, 3 shocking auras appeared. These 3 auras were the auras that only true immortals could possess. The Saint Envoys are here. After sensing these 3 auras, Mo Qingyun stopped cultivating and stood up to look into the distance. Soon, the 3 figures with powerful auras appeared in front of him. Greetings to the Saint Envoys. Seeing the arrival of the 3 Saint Envoys, everyone present showed a respectful expression and bowed to the 3 of them. The 3 Saint Envoys ignored everyone's greetings. Instead, they looked at the demon child of 100 transformations, Ghost Moon Saintess, and Tuo Shan. You must be the demon child of 100 transformations? A burly Saint Envoys sized up the demon child of 100 transformations with a gratified smile. Not bad, not bad. Your cultivation has reached the 3rd level of the sky, human realm, even before the Saint Chi of the Wasteland continent filled your body. As long as you work hard in the Wasteland continent, there is hope for you to reach the Golden Immortal realm in the future. Golden Immortal. Hearing the Saint Envoys praise the demon child of 100 transformations, Mo Qingyun's expression changed. He was surprised by the talent of the demon child of 100 transformations. He did not expect the demon child of 100 transformations to be so talented. He actually had the potential to become a golden immortal. Moreover, from the attitude of the Saint Envoys, he seemed to have a deep relationship with the demon child of 100 transformations. At this moment, while Mo Qingyun was shocked by the relationship between the demon child of 100 transformations and Tuo Shan, the Ghost Moon Saintess bowed slightly to the only female Saint Envoys. Ghost Moon greets great-grandmother. Great-grandmother? Hearing the Ghost Moon Saintess's words, Mo Qingyun's expression changed again. He was shocked by the relationship between the Ghost Moon Saintess and Tuo Shan. He did not expect the Saint Envoys hosting the Wasteland Conference to be the Ghost Moon Saintess' great-grandmother. It seemed that the Ghost Moon Saintess's background was even more powerful than the demon child of 100 transformations. Seeing Mo Qingyun's surprised expression, Yao Lin immediately understood Mo Qingyun's thoughts. He explained to Mo Qingyun, actually, many of the big forces of the 6 great ancient roads have a certain background in the Wasteland continent. It's just that the Devil Road and Ghost Road's background are more powerful. I see. Hearing Yao Lin's words, Mo Qingyun understood and nodded. The shock in his heart lessened a little. Chapter 1190. Qingyun, you destroyed the foundations of the 8 immortal sects. When you enter the Wild Continent in the future, you must be careful of the revenge of the 8 immortal sects. Yao Lin's expression became serious when he mentioned the resources of the various large sects on the Wasteland continent. He cautiously reminded Mo Qingyun, however, my Heavenly Demon Talisman sect also has a certain amount of resources on the Wasteland continent. When the time comes, You only need to reveal your identity. The seniors in the sect will definitely protect you. Okay, I know. Hearing Yao Lin's words, Mo Qingyun nodded with a serious expression. He realized the seriousness of the matter. One should know that he was invincible on the immortal road. However, when he entered the wild continent, he was only at the lowest level. No matter how strong he was now, if an expert in the heaven immortal realm came, he could be killed in seconds. Even if an expert in the heaven immortal realm couldn't kill him, a person in the true immortal realm could. In short, although Mo Qingyun's strength was invincible among people in the same realm, it was nothing in the wild continent. Now, when Mo Qingyun and Yao Lin were talking, the female divine emissary smiled faintly at Ghost Moon Saintess and said, No need to be so polite. You must perform well in the wild continent. It has been a long time since a junior from our Ghost Moon clan successfully entered the wild continent. Grandmother Han Ning, don't worry. I will do my best. Hearing the saint's expectant words, the Ghost Moon Saintess nodded obediently and promised the saint. Then, Ghost Moon Saintess winked at Mo Qingyun, faintly showing off. Ghost Moon Saintess's action did not escape Divine Emissary Han Ning's perception. Divine Emissary Han Ning asked curiously, Do you know that little guy? No, I don't know him. Hearing Saint Emissary Han Ning's question, Ghost Moon Saintess felt guilty and quickly shook her head. Seeing Ghost Moon Saintess's action, Divine Emissary Han Ning smiled meaningfully and looked at Mo Qingyun with interest. After sizing him up, a look of surprise appeared on her face, and she exclaimed, This little guy has an astonishing talent for cultivation. With a skeletal age of less than 50 years, his cultivation base has actually broken through to the first layer of the heaven-human stage. It seems that he is no ordinary person. Grandmother Han Ning, he is the #1 genius on the immortal road. Mo Qingyun. Seeing Emissary Han Ning was interested in Mo Qingyun, Ghost Moon Saintess briefly explained Mo Qingyun's situation to her. #1 genius on the immortal road. No wonder he has such talent. After learning of Mo Qingyun's identity, Saint Envoy Han Ning nodded and said thoughtfully, With this kid's talent, if he's willing to work for my Ghost Moon clan, we can nurture him well in the future. Hearing Emissary Han Ning's words, Ghost Moon Saintess did not dare to say anything. She listened quietly. At this moment, while the Ghost Moon Saintess and the Ghost Moon Saintess were talking, Mo Qingyun looked at Tuo Xian. The last saint glanced at Tuo Xian and walked towards him. He said in a low voice, You are Tuo Xian? Yes. Tuo Xian nodded respectfully. Yes. Seeing Tuo Xian admit his identity, the divine emissary's eyes softened. He said to Tuo Xian, I am a good friend of your great-grandfather, Tuo Xiangyi. Do your best in the Savage Continent meeting. Don't embarrass your great-grandfather. Yes, I will do my best. Hearing the words of encouragement from the Saint Envoy, Tuo Xian nodded his head with a solemn expression. The 3 sacred emissaries exchanged some pleasantries with their acquaintances before they walked to the entrance of the Path of Slaughter. They looked at the crowd solemnly and said, I'm sure all of you know the rules of the Path of Slaughter. Now, come and collect your writ of residence. Later, the 3 of us will open the Path of Slaughter for you. After the 3 divine emissaries said that, they handed out the Wild Continent residence token to the crowd. They recorded the identities of Mo Qingyun and the rest. After a few hours, everyone received their Wild Continent residence token and waited for the divine emissaries to open the slaughter path. Seeing that everyone had received their Wild Continent residence token, the 3 divine emissaries did not hesitate. They immediately opened the entrance of the slaughter path. Remember, kill as many demonic beasts as you can in the slaughter path. This will affect your cultivation level when you enter the wild continent. After opening the entrance of the slaughter path, the 3 divine emissaries instructed the crowd to enter the slaughter path for training. After that, Mo Qingyun and the others walked towards the entrance and entered the path of slaughter. As Mo Qingyun walked into the entrance of the slaughter path, he realized that the scene in front of him changed. He had entered a barren world. This was a boundless barren world. The entire world was covered in golden sand. There were also some dilapidated buildings buried in the sand. Mo Qingyun couldn't help but sigh when he saw the scene before him. He thought to himself, instead of being called a path of death, it's better to call it a path of no return. There's only boundless desolation. Where should we go from here? Looking at the boundless barren world, Mo Qingyun suddenly realized that he seemed to have lost his way. Mo Qingyun, get over here and die. Just as Mo Qingyun was sighing in his heart, the devil child of 100 transformations blocked his path with a gloomy expression. Seeing the devil child of 100 transformations' actions, the corners of Mo Qingyun's eyes narrowed. An intense killing intent was emitted from his body. He had yet to find trouble with the devil child of 100 transformations, but he did not expect the other party to find him first. With regards to this, Mo Qingyun did not intend to retreat. He was prepared to fight with the devil child of 100 transformations. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, if he were to escape now, he would definitely be pursued by the devil child of 100 transformations. In that case, Mo Qingyun would rather fight with the devil child of 100 transformations. That way, it would be easier and more direct. Bang, bang, bang. At this moment, just as Mo Qingyun was about to fight with the devil child of 100 transformations, the ground suddenly shook and a loud sound was heard. After this sound was heard, the sand not far in front of Mo Qingyun and the rest started to sink into the ground. When the sand sank, many worms that looked like silkworms jumped out from the ground one after another. These insects were very powerful. Every one of them was comparable to a sovereign realm expert. Some of them were even comparable to peak sovereign realm experts. The appearance of these strange and powerful insects immediately caused a huge panic. The surrounding spectators were all scared away. However, Mo Qingyun and the devil child of 100 transformations did not move. They were still standing on the spot, facing each other. Seeing Mo Qingyun and the devil child of 100 transformations' actions, she could not help but glare at Mo Qingyun and said, "After these sand dragon goo devour each other, their cultivation can reach the heavenly immortal realm. If you don't leave, do you want to die?" The ghost moon saintess rolled her eyes at Mo Qingyun and quickly walked away. She no longer cared about Mo Qingyun and the devil child of 100 transformations. Chapter 1191. Seeing that the ghost moon saintess had left, Mo Qingyun did not stay any longer and followed the ghost moon saintess into the depths of the desert. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had left, the devil child of 100 transformations did not dare to stay any longer and quickly chased after Mo Qingyun. When Mo Qingyun and the other two were far away, over 100 sand dragon goo stirred up a sandstorm and chased after them rapidly. When these sand dragon goo chased after Mo Qingyun and the other two, they were still devouring each other to raise their strength by devouring their companions. As these sand dragon goo devoured their companions, their bodies became bigger and bigger, turning into the shape of a serpent with long thorns. Not only that, but after the sand dragon goo devoured their companions, their strength also rose rapidly. In just a short moment, these sand dragon goo's strength had already broken through to the second level of the heaven realm. If they were allowed to continue devouring, it would not take long for their cultivation to reach the third level of the heaven realm, or even the fourth level of the heaven realm. Moreover, as these sand dragon goo's cultivation continued to increase, their speed also continued to increase. Subsequently, the distance between them and Mo Qingyun and the other two was slowly closing. At this rate, they would be able to catch up to Mo Qingyun and the other two within 100 breaths' time. This is not the way to go. We can't let these sand dragon goo devour our companions. We have to separate them. Seeing that the sand dragon goo was getting stronger and stronger, Mo Qingyun realized that running for his life was not the best solution. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, if these sand dragon goo were allowed to continue devouring, their cultivation would continue to rise endlessly. Only by separating them could the sand dragon goo's cultivation be restricted and allow it to continue growing. If these sand dragon goo were to combine into one, their cultivation could reach the heaven immortal realm. However, if they were to be divided into 3 groups, their cultivation would only be at the 4th or 5th level of the heaven realm. Facing the sand dragon goo with the strength of a heaven immortal, Mo Qingyun was not confident that he could escape. However, facing the sand dragon goo with the strength of a heaven immortal, Mo Qingyun was still confident that he could escape. Count yourself lucky this time. Just as Mo Qingyun was pondering, the devil child glared at Mo Qingyun and unwillingly separated from Mo Qingyun. He must have realized that under the pursuit of these sand dragon goo, he had no chance to kill Mo Qingyun. Seeing that the devil child of 100 transformations was escaping towards the west, 5 sand dragon goo at the 3rd level of the heaven realm separated from the group and formed a group to chase after the devil child of 100 transformations. It really works. Mo Qingyun's eyes brightened when he saw the 5 sand dragon goo chasing after the 100 transformation devil son. He said to the ghost moon saintess, "In that case, let's split up." Mo Qingyun didn't wait for the ghost moon saintess to reply. Instead, he fled towards the east. Seeing Mo Qingyun fleeing towards the east, 3 of the remaining 6 3rd-level Heaven Man stage sand dragon goo split off and chased after him. "Brother Qingyun, when will we meet again?" The ghost moon saintess smiled seductively when she saw Mo Qingyun fleeing towards the east. She shouted at Mo Qingyun's back. However, Mo Qingyun's figure vanished as soon as she spoke. He didn't hear her words. Seeing that Mo Qingyun didn't hear her words, the ghost moon saintess snorted and continued to flee. She distanced herself from the remaining 3 sand dragon goo. As Mo Qingyun continued to flee, the 3 sand dragon goo didn't devour each other. It seemed that the 3rd level of the heaven realm was their limit. 3 sand dragon goo at the 3rd level of the heaven realm. I might be able to kill them. Looking at the 3 sand dragon goo that were chasing after him, Mo Qingyun pondered in his heart. He was hesitating if he should fight with them. After pondering for a while, Mo Qingyun made up his mind. He thought to himself, Patriarch Yao Lin and the 3 saint envoys said that we have to try our best to kill demonic beasts when we enter the path of death. Since there are 3 sand dragon goo at the 3rd level of the heaven realm, it would be a pity if I just give up like this. After thinking about it, Mo Qingyun no longer continued to flee. He was prepared to fight with the 3 sand dragon goo. Savage Beast, Hexian, Iron Wing, Mo, Zai, Mo, come out and help me fight. After deciding to fight with the 3 sand dragon goo, Mo Qingyun summoned Hexian and the rest to help him fight the sand dragon goo. Sand dragon goo at the 3rd level of the heaven realm. Looks like they've devoured many of their companions. Fortunately, the bloodlines of these 3 sand dragon goo are very ordinary. The 3rd level of the heaven realm is already their limit. If their cultivation breaks through the 4th level of the heaven realm, it will be very troublesome to deal with them. Hexian, Savage Beast, and Iron Wing appeared and looked surprised. They sized up the snake-like, demonic beast with long spikes. Hexian, Iron Wing, Savage Beast, Mo, Zai. The 5 of you hold back 2 sand dragon goo. Leave the remaining 1 to me. After summoning Hexian and the rest, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately instructed the 5 of them. Then, Mo Qingyun's body turned into an afterimage and charged towards one of the sand dragon goo. He fought with the sand dragon goo. While Mo Qingyun was slaughtering the sand dragon goo, Hexian and the others were also slaughtering the remaining sand dragon goo, engaging them in a frenzied battle. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. At this moment, when Mo Qingyun was fighting with the sand dragon goo, the sand dragon goo suddenly spun on the spot. As the sand dragon goo spun on the spot, a terrifying sandstorm formed around the sand dragon goo. Clang, clang, clang. As the sand dragon goo spun wildly, the long spikes on its body continuously collided with Mo Qingyun's body, emitting a series of crisp sounds. As Mo Qingyun's current physical strength had already reached the level of an immortal artifact, the Sand Dragon Goo's attacks did not cause him any harm. Instead, the spikes on the Sand Dragon Goo's body continuously broke and fell off under the intense collision. Since your attacks cannot injure me, it is time for me to send you on your way. Looking at the Sand Dragon Goo's broken spikes, Mo Qingyun showed a bright smile and attacked the Sand Dragon Goo. Heavenly Flame's heaven-breaking halberd. Next, Mo Qingyun took out the immolating immortal battle halberd and stabbed at the Sand Dragon Goo's abdomen. Plop! The Sand Dragon Goo's physical strength could not compare to Mo Qingyun's. Facing the immolating immortal battle halberd's domineering attack, it was instantly pierced through. Bam! Immediately, a shocking flame energy burst out from the immolating immortal battle halberd and charged into the Sand Dragon Goo's body. Bam, bam, bam. Under the impact of this flame, the Sand Dragon Goo's body directly exploded, breaking into pieces of broken limbs. Chapter 1192. Whoosh! After Mo Qingyun killed the Sand Dragon Goo, a dazzling blood-red light flew out of the Sand Dragon Goo's body. This blood-red light flew out of the Sand Dragon Goo's body and entered Mo Qingyun's Wasteland Continent Residence token, causing some changes to the Wasteland Continent Residence token. Seeing this dazzling blood-red light fly into his Wasteland Continent Residence token, Mo Qingyun took out his Wasteland Continent Residence token. When Mo Qingyun took out his Wasteland Continent Residence token, he noticed some slight changes on the Wasteland Continent. The colors seemed to have become brighter. Apart from that, Mo Qingyun noticed that there were additional rows of words on the Wasteland Continent Residence token. Monster Killing Ranking. First place, Mo Qingyun killed a level 3 Sky Realm Sand Dragon Goo. Second place, none. Third place, none. There's actually a monster killing ranking. No wonder the saints said to kill as many monsters as possible. Seeing the words on the Wasteland Continent Residence token, Mo Qingyun understood the saint's meaning. At the same time, he was puzzled. Everyone has been in the path of slaughter for so long, but only my name is on this monster killing ranking. Could it be that I'm the only one who killed a monster? Mo Qingyun did not know that the current situation was just as he thought. Currently, no one had successfully killed a monster. It cannot be helped. There is a Sand Dragon Goo Queen at the entrance of the Path of Slaughter that was constantly releasing Sovereign Realm Sand Dragon Goo. Facing the pursuit of tens of thousands of Sand Dragon Goo, they were lucky to be able to escape. How would they have the chance to kill a monster? Didn't they see that even a character like the 100 Transformations Demon Child was in a difficult situation under the crazed pursuit of the Sand Dragon Goo worms? Not long after Mo Qingyun killed the level 3 Sky Realm Sand Dragon Goo, everyone's Wasteland Continent Residence token trembled. Immediately, everyone took out their Wasteland Continent Residence token and checked the changes on it. Monster Killing Ranking. First place, Mo Qingyun killed a level 3 Sky Realm Sand Dragon Goo. Second place, none. Third place, none. Everyone took out their Wasteland Continent Residence tokens. The words on the Wasteland Continent Residence tokens entered their line of sight. Seeing the words on the Wasteland Continent Residence order, everyone was shocked. They were shocked by Mo Qingyun's performance. What? Mo Qingyun killed a 3rd level Deva Realm Sand Dragon Goo. This guy has such terrifying strength. Isn't this Mo Qingyun at the 1st level of the Heaven tier? How could he possibly kill a 3rd level Heaven Realm Sand Dragon Goo? No wonder this Mo Qingyun was able to become the number 1 Heaven's Chosen of the Immortal Path. As expected, he has strength that surpasses ordinary people. No wonder the 8 great immortal sects were annihilated by Mo Qingyun. It turns out that his strength is already so terrifying. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, everyone was in awe of Mo Qingyun. They realized that they had underestimated Mo Qingyun. Compared to the shock of others, the Ghost Moon Saintess and the ever-changing demonic character were undoubtedly more shocked. This was because they were very clear about Mo Qingyun's situation. Mo Qingyun was being chased by 3 sand dragon goo. They did not expect him to kill one of them. This situation was beyond the expectations of the two of them. It was something that they had never expected. This guy's strength is actually so terrifying. Fortunately, I did not offend him before. After knowing Mo Qingyun's terrifying strength, the Ghost Moon Saintess was shocked. She felt a lingering fear in her heart. Although she had always thought that Mo Qingyun's strength was definitely extraordinary, she did not expect Mo Qingyun's strength to be so terrifying. After a short moment of shock, the Ghost Moon Saintess smiled faintly and said with a sly smile, "I did not expect you to hide so deeply. But for now on, let's see how you will continue to hide." Compared to the Ghost Moon Saintess, the ever-changing demonic character was undoubtedly in a terrible mood. He had never thought that a kid that he did not take seriously would have strength that was not weaker than him. "Kid, I have underestimated you. I did not expect you to have such strength." The ever-changing demonic character's expression was gloomy. After saying this, the killing intent on his body intensified. He continued, "However, even if you have the strength of the heavenly immortal realm, I can still kill you after you enter the wasteland continent." After saying this gloomy sentence, the ever-changing demonic character did not hesitate anymore. He fled towards the west again. Although he did not know what method Mo Qingyun used to kill a 3rd-level sky human realm sand dragon goo, he did not dare to fight with the 4 sand dragon goo behind him. He had some confidence in dealing with 2 3rd-level sky human realm sand dragon goo. However, he did not have any confidence in dealing with 4 3rd-level sky human realm sand dragon goo. At the entrance of the Path of Slaughter, a huge light screen in the air suddenly emitted a dazzling light. After the dazzling light appeared, rows of words appeared on the huge light screen. When the people at the entrance of the Path of Slaughter saw the words, they immediately became nervous. The monster-killing ranking is about to appear. Someone killed the monsters in the Path of Slaughter. I wonder who killed the first demonic beast? Ever-changing demonic character, Ghost Moon Saintess, or Open String? Look, the first place is out. The first person to kill the demonic beast is Mo Qingyun. What? Mo Qingyun killed a 3rd-level sky human realm sand dragon goo? Am I seeing things? Isn't Mo Qingyun at the 1st-level sky human realm? How can he kill a 3rd-level sky human realm sand dragon goo? What a terrifying guy. Looks like we have underestimated him. At this moment, everyone was shocked. A strong doubt rose in their hearts. Qingyun. He killed a 3rd-level sky human realm sand dragon goo. At this moment, even Yao Lin revealed a shocked expression when he saw this scene. He was shocked by Mo Qingyun's performance. He knew that Mo Qingyun was strong, but he had never thought that Mo Qingyun's strength would be so strong. "Haha, good lad. You have brought me another surprise." Yao Lin laughed heartily. His expression was gratified. Mo Qingyun killed a sand dragon goo with cultivation at the 3rd level of the heaven realm. Sacred Emissary Han Ning and the other 2 were shocked when they saw the words on the light screen. They did not expect Mo Qingyun's performance to be so shocking. Sacred Emissary Han Ning was especially shocked. She carefully sized up Mo Qingyun and knew that Mo Qingyun's cultivation was only at the 1st-level sky human realm. He is only at the 1st-level sky human realm, but he can kill a 3rd-level sky human realm sand dragon goo. This Mo Qingyun is really not simple. Chapter 1193. At this moment, while everyone was shocked by Mo Qingyun's performance, Mo Qingyun came to the side of another sand dragon goo worm. Coming to the side of this sand dragon goo worm, Mo Qingyun did not even think as he waved his immortal immolation battle halberd and stabbed at the sand dragon goo worm. This sand dragon goo worm was extremely shrewd. Seeing that immortal immolation battle halberd was stabbing at it, it immediately drilled into the ground, trying to avoid being killed by the halberd. Poochie! But immortal immolation battle halberd's attack was too fast, Even though the sand dragon goo dodged at full speed, its tail was still pierced by Mo Qingyun's halberd. However, with the sand dragon goo's extreme speed, it was able to avoid its vital parts and was not killed by Immortal Immolation Battle Halberd. With its tail injured, Immortal Immolation Battle Halberd's attack immediately caused intense pain, causing the sand dragon goo to let out a miserable cry. Come out! Towards the sand dragon goo's cry, Mo Qingyun chose to ignore it. He waved his Immolation Battle Halberd and pulled out the sand dragon goo worm. Plop! The sand dragon goo worm was pulled out of the ground by Mo Qingyun and was thrown to the ground. It let out a muffled sound and created a large amount of dust and sand. Swoosh! Before the sand dragon goo worm continued to move to the ground, Mo shot out an eye ray, directly piercing into the sand dragon goo worm's mind. Boom! After being hit by Mo's eye ray, the sand dragon goo worm's head exploded. A large amount of blood flowed out. In a short while, the sand dragon goo worm's body was dyed green by the blood. Because its head was blasted apart by Mo, the sand dragon goo worm instinctively twisted its body a few times before it stopped moving completely. After the sand dragon goo worm was killed by Mo Qingyun, another dazzling blood-red light flew out of its corpse. Next, this dazzling blood-red light flew into Mo Qingyun's wild continent residence token. Following this, the information on the Monster Kill ranking board had some changes. Monster Kill ranking board. First place, Mo Qingyun killed 2 sand dragon goo worms at level 3 Heavenman stage. Second place, None. Third place, None. At this moment, the Monster Kill leaderboard still showed that Mo Qingyun was the only one who had killed a demonic beast. As the information on the Monster Kill leaderboard changed, everyone's Wild Continent residence tokens started to throb again. Following which, everyone took out their Wasteland Continent residence tokens and checked the changes in the information on them. Mo Qingyun. He killed 2 3rd-level Deva Realm Sand Dragon Goo. Has this guy gone mad? What? Mo Qingyun killed another 3rd-level Heaven Realm Sand Dragon Goo. Could it be that he's dealing with 2 Sand Dragon Goo at the same time? This Mo Qingyun is truly remarkable. I'm afraid that his current true strength is already comparable to a 4th-level Heaven tier powerhouse. Good. Our Heavenly Devil Talisman sect is truly a great fortune for such a genius. Old Ancestor Yao Lin, congratulations to your Sky Devil Talisman sect for obtaining such a peerless genius. We are truly envious. My Ghastly Moon clan must recruit this Mo Qingyun. With the talent he has displayed, he might become an existence that surpasses the golden immortal realm in the future. Seeing Mo Qingyun's terrifying performance, regardless of whether it was the people inside or outside the Wasteland Continent residence token, everyone was extremely shocked. All 3 Sand Dragon Goo are dead. Looking at the information on the Wasteland Continent residence token, the 100 Transformations Devil Child's face was as dark as ink. He was so angry that he gritted his teeth. If he had known that Mo Qingyun would grow so quickly, he would have personally gone to the Heavenly Soul Continent and gotten rid of the scourge that was Mo Qingyun first. The 100 Transformations Devil Child was certain that Mo Qingyun's strength was definitely not this strong when the Demon Ox, Overlord, and the others had gone to the Heavenly Soul Continent. Unfortunately, it was too late for regrets now. Everything was clearly too late. Damn it, I didn't expect this brat to have grown so much in just a few years. At this moment, the 100 Transformations Devil Child's heart was filled with regret. He wanted to kill Mo Qingyun even more. He said, after entering the Wasteland Continent, I will kill this brat first. I can't let him grow any further. At this moment, the 100 Transformations Devil Child felt that Mo Qingyun was like a fishbone stuck in his throat. He really killed all 3 Sand Dragon Goo. Compared to the 100 Transformations Devil Child's anger, the Ghost Moon Saintess had a look of understanding. She seemed to have expected that Mo Qingyun would kill the 3 Sand Dragon Goo. After saying that, the Ghost Moon Saintess showed a strange expression. She said with dissatisfaction, Mo Qingyun, you bastard. You don't know how to treat a woman well. You clearly had the strength to kill the sand dragon Gu, but you didn't care about my life and death and left alone. After the Ghost Moon Saintess said this, she showed a puzzled expression. She said in confusion, "That's not right. I'm not related to that guy. Why did he save me?" However, before the Ghost Moon Saintess had time to think, the 3 sand dragon Gu behind her caught up again. Then, the Ghost Moon Saintess did not hesitate and immediately continued to escape. At this moment, the other people in the desert were in a similar situation as the Ghost Moon Saintess and the Ghost Moon Saintess. They were all entangled by the sand dragon Gu and could not get away. After killing the 3 sand dragon Gu, Mo Qingyun sent the corpses of the sand dragon Gu, as well as He Xian and the others, into the 5-direction small pagoda. After doing all this, Mo Qingyun did not stay here. He continued to walk towards the depths of the desert. As he walked towards the depths of the path of death, a pitch-black tunnel appeared in front of him. These bottomless tunnels seemed to lead to another world. They gave people a very strange and illusory feeling. These bottomless tunnels should be the real path of death. Looking at the bottomless tunnels, Mo Qingyun had an idea. He guessed the real use of these tunnels. After pondering for a short while, Mo Qingyun did not think too much about it. He lifted his feet and walked into these tunnels. As Mo Qingyun walked into the tunnels, the aura became much more oppressive. There was a gloomy, corrosive, and bloody smell. At this moment, there was a rush of footsteps approaching Mo Qingyun at an extremely fast speed. After a short while, Mo Qingyun saw thousands of colorful spider demonic beasts crawling towards him. These spider demonic beasts were very strong. Each of them had the cultivation of the Supreme Realm and the Dominator Realm. Some of them were even close to the Heaven Realm. No wonder this place is called the Path of Death. It turns out that there's a tide of demonic beasts. Looking at the thousands of spider demonic beasts, Mo Qingyun could not help but sigh. He moved his body and charged into the sea of spiders. Scorching Sun. When Mo Qingyun charged into the sea of spiders, he used the first move of the Celestial Fury Art. He intended to use the power of fire to burn these spiders. Suddenly, a terrifying power of fire burst out from Mo Qingyun's body and bombarded the surrounding spider demonic beasts. It's only been a few hours, and he's already killed nearly 50,000 demonic beasts. How'd he do it? It's too terrifying. There are so many Sovereign Realm and Supreme Realm demonic beasts. Even if they just stand there and let me kill them, I'm afraid I'll be exhausted to death. Old Ancestor Yao Lin, what's Mo Qingyun's cultivation level? Is he a heavenly immortal? I'm not too sure. He's probably at the first level of the sky human realm. Seeing Mo Qingyun's shocking performance, everyone felt that it was unreal. Such a situation had never happened in the previous wilderness pageant. I didn't expect that there would be such a monster like Mo Qingyun in the Great Ancient Road. Yeah, if the upper echelons know about this person, he'll definitely be prioritized for grooming. With his talent, as long as he doesn't fall along the way, he'll definitely become a golden immortal expert in the future. When the 2 male sacred messengers saw Mo Qingyun's performance, their expressions turned serious. They couldn't help but pay more attention to Mo Qingyun. A genius like this was worthy of their attention. When the 2 male sacred messengers started to pay attention to Mo Qingyun, Sacred Messenger Han Ning frowned and scolded. Doesn't this Mo Qingyun know that the tallest tree in the forest will be destroyed by the wind? His performance is so dazzling that it'll definitely cause a lot of unnecessary trouble. But then again, this Mo Qingyun's talent really surprises me. It seems that he might be able to reach the Grand Unity Golden Immortal Realm. Sacred Messenger Han Ning couldn't help but gasp when she thought of how terrifying a Grand Unity Golden Immortal was. She exclaimed, "Hiss, does this mean that our Buck dynasty will have another Grand Unity golden immortal after 100,000 years. As far as Han Ning knew, most Grand Unity golden immortals had cultivated for at least 100,000 years. Mo Qingyun shouldn't be an exception. While the three sacred messengers were paying attention to Mo Qingyun, the shape-shifting devil child saw the number of monsters Mo Qingyun had killed. He gnashed his teeth in anger and said, "Brat, you dare to use external forces to kill monsters? When I enter the Wild Continent, I'll expose you. You'll be punished by the venerables of the Wild Continent." In the shape-shifting devil child's eyes, Mo Qingyun's killing speed was something that even a sky immortal expert might not be able to achieve. In that case, if Mo Qingyun did not have the help of a powerful external force, how could he have such a killing speed? This guy, seeing that Mo Qingyun had killed more than 50,000 monsters, the Ghost Moon Saintess was shocked. "I must find this guy and see how he can kill monsters so quickly. The spider tunnel is in the east. I'll go find that guy now." Then, the Ghost Moon Saintess killed monsters while heading toward Mo Qingyun's tunnel. When the Ghost Moon Saintess was heading toward Mo Qingyun had entered a frenzied state. He only wanted to kill more monsters. Following that, Mo Qingyun led the tens of thousands of ghosts into the tunnel in a crushing manner. After a day of killing, Mo Qingyun finally arrived at the end of the tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, there was a dim stone door. He could see the scene behind the door. Behind the stone door was an endless underground ocean. It emitted a gloomy and cold aura. Through the gap of the stone door, Mo Qingyun looked at the underground ocean behind him. Then, he stepped through the stone door. Asterisk boom. Asterisk after Mo Qingyun passed through the stone door, huge waves suddenly appeared in the calm underground ocean. Behind these waves, there were demonic beasts in armor. These were some shrimp soldiers and crab generals who were riding the wind and breaking the waves. These shrimp soldiers and crab generals weren't weak. Basically, their cultivation was above the sovereign realm. Some of them had even reached the heaven realm. Shrimp soldiers and crab generals? Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun's expression couldn't help but freeze. He was a little surprised by this scene. At the same time, Mo Qingyun became more and more curious about this path. Chapter 1195. Kill. Seeing the shrimp soldiers and crab generals attacking him, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate at all. He led the undead army and charged forward. Very quickly, the army of ghosts clashed with the prawn soldiers and crab generals. Terrifying shockwaves were generated from the battle, causing the entire underground ocean to churn. The shrimp soldiers and crab generals had thick armor, making it difficult for the undead to deal much damage to them. Thus, they gained the upper hand in the battle. Faced with the suppression of the shrimp soldiers and crab generals, the undead were constantly defeated and slowly dissipated from the world. The defense of these shrimp soldiers and crab generals is astonishing. If the undead want to kill them, they must first break through their armor. When Mo Qingyun discovered the shocking defense of the shrimp soldiers and crab generals, he immediately released the law of death to corrode the armor of the shrimp soldiers and crab generals. Under the corrosion of the law of death, the armor of the shrimp soldiers and crab generals began to decay and weaken. Their defense was instantly weakened by several times. As the defense of the shrimp soldiers and crab generals weakened, the undead's damage to them increased significantly. The speed at which they were slaughtered also increased significantly. Following that, the shrimp soldiers and crab generals were killed by the undead and fell into the underground ocean. After destroying the shrimp soldiers and crab generals blocking the way, Mo Qingyun led the undead army deeper into the underground ocean. When Mo Qingyun entered the underground river, he quickly saw a large number of shrimp soldiers and crab generals charging towards them. Behind the shrimp soldiers and crab generals, there were also many lightning snakes approaching. Their bodies emitted dazzling electric arcs, soul-extinguishing electric serpents. Seeing these lightning snakes emitting electric arcs, Mo Qingyun frowned. Worry rose in his heart. These soul-extinguishing electric serpents were very strong. Their attacks on the soul were especially shocking. It could be said that they were the bane of the undead army. If I let these soul-extinguishing electric serpents deal with the undead army will definitely suffer heavy losses. I must stop them from getting closer. After learning about the lethality of the soul-extinguishing lightning serpent, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated. His figure moved and charged towards the soul-extinguishing lightning serpent. Several Mo Qingyun flashed and arrived near the soul-extinguishing lightning snakes. He took out the immortal burning battle halberd and swept it towards them. Roar! Suddenly, a 1,000-meter-long fire dragon halberd shadow shot towards the soul-extinguishing lightning snakes. Chapter 1196. When Mo Qingyun saw these people, they also saw Mo Qingyun. All of them smiled darkly. We finally met a living person. Looks like we've already reached the periphery of the path of slaughter. This kid probably didn't come in from the death corridor. If that's the case, he should have the Wasteland Continent Residence token on him. Since this kid has the Wasteland Continent Residence token on him, then we can't let him go. Don't kill him first. We still need him to lead the way for us later. These people sneered and exchanged a few words. Then, they flew toward Mo Qingyun at top speed and surrounded Mo Qingyun. Seeing their actions, Mo Qingyun also looked concerned. He looked at them indifferently and said, "You want to snatch my Wasteland Continent Residence token?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, these people were stunned. They didn't expect Mo Qingyun to see through their thoughts. "Kid, you're quite observant." They sized up Mo Qingyun in surprise and praised Mo Qingyun. One of them sneered and said, "Since you know what we're thinking, then obediently hand over the Wasteland Continent Residence token and save us the trouble of doing it ourselves." It's impossible for me to hand over the Wasteland Continent Residence token. If you have the ability, you can snatch it. Mo Qingyun responded indifferently to these people's threatening words. Then he made a move on these people. Mo Qingyun struck out with his palm, and a terrifying aura burst out, crushing towards the bodies of these people. In the face of Mo Qingyun's oppressive aura, these people's bodies trembled, and fear appeared on their faces. An expert with Heaven Tier Cultivation Base. This kid in front of them was actually an expert with Heaven Tier Cultivation Base. They seem to have gotten into big trouble. First tier Heaven Tier Cultivation Base. Everyone, run. Everyone, don't panic. This brat is only at the first layer of the Heaven Tier. If we attack together, we might have a chance to kill him. What? Yin Hainan, a half-step celestial being, actually couldn't withstand a single move from him? Say, "Senior, please don't kill me. We were wrong. Brother wrong. Save me." Seeing that Mo Qingyun had easily killed one of them, the remaining few people revealed looks of panic and uttered fearful words. Just as they were uttering words of terror, Mo Qingyun quickly waved the immortal burning war halberd, slaughtering 2 more of them in succession. Seeing that they could not resist Mo Qingyun's attack at all, they panicked even more. However, Mo Qingyun did not show any mercy because of their fear. "Humph! Get over here and accept your death." Mo Qingyun let out a cold snort as he watched them turn around and flee. He raised his hand and grabbed at them. In an instant, 6 terrifying powers of the law of water transformed into 6 enormous sky-blue palms that chased after these people. Soon, these people were captured by the sky-blue palms and dragged to Mo Qingyun. "Say, Senior, please don't kill us." When these people were captured by Mo Qingyun, their expressions immediately trembled, and they quickly begged for mercy from Mo Qingyun. The young man in front of them was too terrifying. In the past, they had encountered Heaven-tier powerhouses, but it was not to the extent that they could not resist at all. Now, in front of the young man in front of them, they were completely lambs waiting to be slaughtered. They had lost the ability to control their own lives. "How much do you know about this path of slaughter? Tell me everything you know." After capturing these people in front of him, Mo Qingyun had a cold expression as he interrogated them. From their conversation, Mo Qingyun realized that they were much more familiar with the path of slaughter than he was. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, these people hurriedly told Mo Qingyun everything they knew about the situation without missing a word. Senior, the path of slaughter is divided into 3 levels: the surface, the underground, and the core. Only by entering the core level can one enter the wild continent. We are now at the underground level of the 9 extinction path, which is the most dangerous of all the paths of slaughter. It is said that there is a heavenly, celestial stage demonic beast, the 9-headed dragon, in the 9 extinction path. It specializes in hunting down the trial takers who enter this place. Also, if you encounter a 9-headed demonic snake, you must not kill it. Once you kill the 9-headed demonic beast, your body will be tainted with the aura of the 9-headed demonic snake, and you will be tracked by the 9-headed dragon. Then, these people describe the situation to Mo Qingyun word for word. A heavenly celestial stage, 9-headed dragon. This is going to be troublesome. Hearing that there was a heavenly celestial stage demonic beast, the 9-headed dragon, in the underground sea, Mo Qingyun frowned. More importantly, if he was tainted with the aura of the 9-headed demonic snake, he would not be able to shake off the 9-headed dragon's tracking. This was going to be very troublesome. After all, the number of 9-headed demonic snakes that Mo Qingyun had killed was a terrifying number. In that case, how much would the aura of the 9-headed demonic snake be tainted on Mo Qingyun's body? With the aura of the 9-headed demonic snake on Mo Qingyun's body, it would be very difficult for him to shake off the 9-headed dragon's tracking. Roar! At that moment, while Mo Qingyun was pondering, a terrifying roar of a beast reverberated through the entire underground sea. When they heard the beast's roar, the people standing in front of Mo Qingyun all revealed terrified expressions. This was the angry roar of the 9-headed dragon. Someone must have angered it. Say, Senior, the 9-headed dragon has gone mad.